And we're live. I'm not doing an intro. Like there's no music. We're just in. Hey, yeah, we're just in. It's Gameday Live, and we are live.
We are live on Gameday Live.
I'm Oz. We got Tebbs here. I believe it's that way. Yes, it is. I'm getting better at this.
I am that way.
Yeah, I'm getting better at this. I can never do it with Mikey. Yeah, I'm Oz. This is Tebbs. We're here on Gameday Live. For what I believe is like I think there's only about 3 weeks left in Britball. 2 weeks left in Britball. Well, I don't know about weeks, but I know there's only a couple of games left for most teams. Like most of the teams have played sort of 6 or 7 games by this point, unless they've had to have like reschedulings or cancellations and things like that.
And that never happens, does it?
No, not at all. It's clean. It is absolutely clean. But yes, so as you can see, Mike has shaved and put some frosted tips in his hair for today's show.
No, it's not frosted tips anymore. It is now just...
It's just bleached. It's just bleached and regrowth. Yeah, unfortunately, the Penguins were not able to stand up on their own overnight, so Mike had to work a late shift. No, not you. It's
the squad.
No. Mike's job. He's a Penguin picker-upper at.
He is. I forget that he is.
I can't remember where. I know he's going to the Newquay Sea Life Centre, but I can't remember. Chester Zoo is where he is currently. Penguin picker-upper at Chester Zoo. They couldn't stand up on their own overnight, so he had to work a late shift. So he's not here with us today, but we're very thankful to have Tebbs with us.
And don't pay attention to my background. Don't pay attention to it.
It's actually one of those. It's one of those Zoom backgrounds. Tebbs is not at work in his place of employment. He's
dedication. What do we get? Yeah. Unbelievable
commitment to the cause. More than I've got.
Why'd you get the sack? Oh, I was doing Gameday Live. Do you know what Gameday Live is?
Yeah, I was live streaming at work, wasn't I? Oh no.
So people watching, if I do go quiet, it's because there is a customer and I need to deal with that. So,
he's got to pay rent, so he actually has to sell things. Like this is not a joke. Tebbs is 100% in his place of work right now, and we're very grateful that he's got the time to spare with us.
Like all the till is literally just here. So
yeah, we get to see Tebbs launder drugs through just an illegitimate business.
It's a very.
Should we get started on some picks?
Working for
the company. We're gonna leave it anonymous. Should we do some picks because one of us decided they didn't want to do them this week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to be fair, if you look at my picks, sometimes it's better off if I simply didn't
do them. I do. I'm glad that we've got you because I wanted to touch base with you on your. Is there a rhythm or is there any rhyme or reason to your madness? Sometimes.
You know what the rhyme or reason to my madness is that I look at who we've got covering Britball. We've got you, we've got Mike, we've got Steve, we've got the Brings. That's a good basis. I can go and do my work with NWFL, moving into EFL, things of that nature, and worry about, and cry myself to sleep that Uniball's not currently going. So I pay attention very, very brief. I pay attention to the Bombers, the Eagles, the Giants. That's about it.
So pretty much everything in your little home region, and that's about it.
No, it's literally, and I said.
Well, is it your uni region?
No, I have friends who play for those teams.
Right. Okay.
I pay attention to them, but I will tell you this now, and I do love the Shropshire Rev. It's very difficult picking Shropshire Rev every week. I try my hardest. And one week, Steve mugged me off because he said that I picked like Norwich over Ouse Valley, which is a lie. Just let that be known.
That's not a muggery though, because Norwich did beat Ouse Valley.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's out of the scale of.
Or was it the fact that you picked against the Eagles?
It was the fact that I picked against the Eagles. I'm going to mute quickly.
Okay, no problems. So Wesley's popped in. He's just asked who's picked the Wolves over the Phoenix. That's Hatch. So Hatch is our behind the scenes man. And he's been with Sportank Gridiron Hub for years and years and years. He's actually one of sort of the founding members with Steve, and he does everything behind the scenes for us. And he reckons that the Wolves have got a chance this week. So I'm going to bring up my screen for you guys just while Tebbs actually serves a customer because he's quality and he's at work and we really appreciate it. Darren, think that might have been a mistake. He reckons. I'm just going to bring that up very quickly. I have no idea. I haven't spoken to Hatch. I'm hoping he picked Edinburgh. To be honest, I picked Edinburgh in the first time they played each other in the reverse fixture, and obviously Edinburgh got battered, but I just thought at the time the Phoenix were not doing well. So the Phoenix were not doing well leading into the season, and the Wolves were on a hot streak, and yeah, I've just seen Wesley's comment here. Tell you it's not half-time, they have zero chance, so we'll get that score from you at some point soon, mate. But I'm just going to bring up the pick screen here. Which one of us is going to be updating the score thread? Tebbs, is it going to be me or is it going to be you?
I imagine it's probably going to be you, just because I can't commit to being not here the whole time, but present.
Right. Okay. And that's not a mentally vacant. That's just he's got other things to do. So, as we can see here, I may or may not have forgotten to do my picks this week. Essentially, Jesus, 35-7 Phoenix over the Wolves already.
Already? I'm not particularly surprised.
Yeah, we're not even half time yet. So, but yeah, fact of the matter is that generally Steve used to come to me directly for my picks, and I would give them to him, albeit a little bit late, but he was very accommodating. Recently, he's had to pass it off to Hatch, and the format that they're doing them on now is not something that was conducive to me previously, so I never was able to do it. But moving forward, I'll be getting mine back in, but it just sucks a little bit for a default. But I'll try to give some now as we move our way along, and we've only received one scoring update there. I would have said the Phoenix over the Wolves, considering they battered them in the reverse fixture. If you look at the Titans over the Nighthawks, I would take the Nighthawks in this. You've gone the Giants, not the Titans. You've gone the Giants. Is there any?
As I've said previously, it's because I've got a couple of friends who play for the Giants.
Okay, that's cool. You've backed the Aztecs against the Warriors.
Because it's more so that when I talk to Steve, he's just so excited about playing football that it gets me excited. And the Warriors are, the Warriors. But, I don't know. It's just I'm caught up in the Aztec fervour of conversating with Steve. I'm like, yeah, go Aztecs.
I get that. But I feel like, you've still got to balance it with reality. Like, they're probably going to lose by 60. It's all well and good to be caught up in the fervour, but I'll tell you what, if the Aztecs win this one, I don't want to make some stupid wager just based on the fact that there's a very, 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 very slim possibility it could happen. But it would be amazingly surprising.
You mugged me off when I was really happy that the Caesars won last week when I picked them.
Yeah. Mugged me off. It did 100%. Yeah. So that was, but there was a lot more chance of the Caesars winning last week than there is the Aztecs winning this week. So I would pick the Warriors in that. For your Olympians, Thrashers. Yeah, Olympians, their relegation is confirmed. They're gone. They'll be in Div 1 next year. And, I think the Thrashers get an easy victory this week against the Olympians. Blitz Exiles, I would go the Blitz as well. I think the Exiles are just lucky that the Olympians are in the same division as them. Because if the Olympians weren't there, then it'd be the Exiles getting relegated. So, make our way down. EKP versus Glasgow. Yeah, I expect EKP to beat them tidily. I don't see that being much of a challenge for EKP. They've been, top tier this season with the Rams and the Vikings. So, whereas the Tigers have been right there at the bottom with the Goliaths, and I think there's somebody else in that division that's struggling, and I can't for the life of me remember. Might just be the 5 of them. Right, Wolverines Goliaths. Oh, it's the Wolverines is the other team. Actually, is the 6th team in that division. I'm picking the Wolverines. I think the Goliaths have been okay. They've performed well against the Tigers, but that's pretty much it. The Wolverines got slapped last week, like badly, but I still think that there should be no issue with that. You've gone Inverclyde.
Yes.
Anything you want to say?
No, there isn't.
No. Cool.
I won't lie to us. It's the first time I've been held in court for.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. Usually it's just me and Mikey just slate off your picks with you unable to defend yourself. So I wanted to know if you wanted the option to defend yourself.
No, sometimes I watch and I hear myself getting mugged off, and it's like I've simply got no grounds. If it was a court, I'd be hung, and that's what
you just need to. You just need to just say you're taking the SJ path, and you just like the logos better or something. Like, it's Hayden. Sorry,
that's Hayden.
Hayden. Sorry, yeah.
Pays attention to football.
Yeah, no, he does too. I apologise for that. I haven't met him in person, but I think I've spoken to him on a couple of Facebook threads. I really like the Rams this season at the moment, so I would be with you against the Vikings. The Vikings came back and they beat EKP, I believe, the last time they played. The Rams clubbed them in the reverse fixture, but I think it might be a little bit closer this time round. But the Rams have just been on form, so I'm picking the Rams. Revs Spartans.
Yeah, I know. If there's a game that the Rev will win, it will be this one. But the Rev, I don't understand what's happened. I'm personally, I'm disappointed in how the Rev have gone this season. So,
well, I remember they used to be fairly decent. Like probably about 2 years ago, I remember that they were very, very strong in their division. I think I'm probably going to go Halton though. I think I'd probably go Halton.
I can see it.
But I can see it going. I can see that going either way. But I think I would. Yeah, it would be. No, you know what? I'm gonna go the Revs because I'm gonna even it up to a 5-5. So at the moment there's a 5-4. So I'm gonna even it to a 5-5. I'm gonna go the Rev purely based on that fact. Caesars Birmingham Bulls. Yeah. I did, Tom. I did slag your bold pick. I'm sorry, and you've got more time to comment because you guys have got your game cancelled at the moment. I'm pretty sure. So I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, but no, mate, and that's not a dig at the Stags. The Stags have been fucking romping it in their division, absolutely romping it. But their game versus the Blackhawks, I believe, was cancelled. So hopefully we can see that rescheduled because the Stags have been killing it so far. So I'm not. That's not a muggery of Tom in any way, shape, or form. Right. Caesars Bulls. I think the Caesars would be too good. I do like the Caesars. I went against them. I went against them last week, and I felt bad for it. So yeah. Oh Jesus, that score is creeping up. That's the Phoenix, the Tamworth Phoenix, Edinburgh Wolves score for everybody else. Ugh. Right, Cheetahs, South Wales. I'm picking the Cheetahs. Yeah. Dreadnoughts, Rushmore. You have to defend yourself on this, mate. The Dreadnoughts are 0-7.
I only found that out about 2 days ago after I made the picks. And I've just sort of now learnt from the exploits in the Uniball season that I'm just simply going to stop disagreeing with Portsmouth. Because, I've already had enough.
They'll mug you. Not mug you off, they will mug you in the streets.
You say that, but they were doing a sale of their uni jerseys, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm interested. But they didn't have any of 77, which is my number. And they very nicely found a 77 in white and sent it to me. There you go.
Oh.
So I've got a Portsmouth Destroyers jersey now.
Very nice. Very nice.
But no, I've got none. Realistically, swap that pick.
Yeah, I got no faith. I got no faith in the Dreadnoughts. I don't even know if they're going to get on the board. Blitzby versus the Cats. I would make this a clean sweep. I would also pick the Cats. Blitzby have been okay. Cats have been great this season. So, Hornets versus the Spartans. I think the Spartans have played well, but they've had some big losses. And the Hornets, I think their first loss came last week to the Cats. So I would be picking the Hornets in this one as well.
The Cats are such an interesting squad. There's going to be an article posted soon. We've got one of the guys from the Cats, writing some articles, Jamie. It's really interesting. It's really interesting to see how the Cats are sort of doing, because like we played them last year and obviously we got battered. It was a good game all around.
So I played.
Well done.
I played against the Cats 2016, and we kicked the shit out of them in regular season twice. Like I think we beat them it was 50-6 or something like that. Like it was not close, and so I always had like a really sort of a skewed view of them. I was like, oh, it's the Cats. Like I used to lump them and the Cheetahs together because at the time they were in the same division. So I used to think, the Cats, the Cheetahs, they're all garbage, doesn't matter. And I was like, well, the Cheetahs aren't bad, but the Cats are just woeful. But then over the last couple of years, and I've got to know, like from last year, from the Slate Cup, I got to know a couple of Cats guys and changed my perspective completely. 100% changed my perspective. I mean, I should have probably changed my perspective on the fact that it was 6 years ago when we played them, and a lot can change in 6 years. So, moving down. So, I just want to do this quickly because I know we've got some updates that people are probably going to want from us.
Yeah, sure.
So, in the Hunters versus the Kings, I don't think the Kings have won a game all season, so I definitely would pick the Hunters over the Kings. Stags versus the Blackhawks. I don't think the Stags have lost a game all season, so I would have picked the Stags, but that game's obviously been cancelled. Surge versus Lee. I am sad that Mikey has picked the Surge because I know he loves Lee. So it hurts my heart to see him pick the Surge. But I'm not going to make up for it. I'm also going to pick the Surge. Gateshead Senators, DC Presidents, make that a clean sweep. Gateshead all day. South Lincolnshire Lightning versus the Humber Warhawks. Boo Lightning. Warhawks all the way. I believe this game's been cancelled. The Alphas Donny. And I believe Scunthorpe is playing themselves.
Nice.
So they're having this game. This game was cool. I think Donny pulled out or something happened, but I believe that Scunthorpe are playing like a blue versus white game now. Swindon versus the Source. I don't expect the Source to even turn up. They've forfeited like 2 games already this season, so Swindon all the way. Somerset versus the Apache. Yep, definitely be the Apache there. Ipswich versus Ooze Valley. I've come to hate Ipswich after an interaction.
I hate Ipswich so much. Genuinely, like there's no way in hell that I would pick anyone other than Ooze Valley here. Not just because I played for them. I don't. You know what? I don't like Ipswich Cardinals. There you go.
I had some shitty interaction with some players on a Facebook thread where they just got really, really muggy, and I was like, you know what? Fuck you. So,
they were.
There he is, SJ himself. Sounds like a biased pick.
No, it is. It is. I don't like Ipswich Cardinals. Even before any of the stuff happened where they were getting mouthy, they were a nightmare to play. Some of the like most unsportsmanlike players on that side.
They used to have a pedo for a logo as well.
Yeah, and so realistically, Ipswich fold. There you go.
Fold. Renegades versus the Mavericks. I'd probably put the Renegades for this one as well. It was a slow start from the Phoenix. They didn't let the Wolves scoring on them in the first quarter. Ever since then, they've been on fire. So there we go. For anybody who's just joining us, 42-7, the Phoenix over the Wolves. Let's jump across. We'll take this off and let's get some scoring updates. So, Bulls, Caesars. We have got an update on that. Caesars lead 7-0.
Nice.
So I'm going to have to go through and I'm going to need you to do some talking at some point as well, Tebbs, while I do the score stream update as well.
What do we talk about?
Well, just whatever, mate. Just you can literally touch on some NFL stuff. You can touch on some Britball stuff. You can touch on the fact that the Mustangs pulled out of today's game yesterday.
That is a shame because like Scunthorpe are they're proving to be quite a scary side because obviously they're in the division with the Bombers, and then I've got friends from the Colonials who play on the Bombers. But yeah, when I'm really disappointed that I didn't get to go down and see Scunthorpe at Lincoln because I inquired about going down to Scunthorpe to see Bombers at Scunthorpe, but Scunthorpe you have to pay as a punter, and I'm like, nah, I'm not that guy. I'm not driving 2.5 hours to then have to pay to watch Britball. I'm not.
Yeah, it is. So the game there's
guy.
the Scunthorpe's having a charity game essentially today between themselves. So they're blue versus white. And they've got a couple of captains from the team that have just are going to pick from within their own squad, and it's £2 if you're in the area, and all proceeds are going to charity is what they've said. So.
And what is it? To be fair, their media is unmatched. It's fun. Scunthorpe Alphas are doing a fantastic job, and it does seem like they're going to go up unless the Bombers can reverse the fixture when they take the long old journey from Lincoln to Scunny.
Oh, Scunny. Right, so we've got the Caesars. Caesars have the lead against the Bulls, 7-0. So I'm just going to update that. What else have we got? Oh, the Pirates have taken the lead. So EKP have taken the lead against the Tigers. They lead 7-0.
And then Darren Walker has commented on the old video. It's the Cambridgeshire Cats 27 at London at Blitz B6.
Yeah, the Cats are just too strong at the moment. It's going to be very, very interesting come playoff time to see what happens with the Cats and a couple of other teams around there. So what do we got? So
speaking of playoffs, I mean not unrelated to Britball, but from what I can gather, women's football, NWFL, still haven't got their playoff. They don't know what the playoffs are going to look like. If they're going to have
still
playoffs.
Nothing.
From what I've heard,
isn't it like a week?
No, so they've got international break,
right?
So
okay.
Because a lot of people are going to Finland to hopefully go and melt Mexico into the ground, and then play Canada and America, which I don't know what women's football's like in America. I imagine really good. So
So I had a mate that went out there and played the LFL, so like Arena Ball, so the Legends Football League, and so she went out from Oz, and yeah, it was decent quality.
Because I've done a few when I first started writing for Gridiron Hub, I did a few articles on the LFL and watching it, brutal, absolutely brutal. Not in terms of like quality, in terms of they're just kicking seven shades out.
Oh yeah, they 100%.
It's absolutely madness. But the thing is, it's Mexico eliminated GB last time, so they're sort of wanting to, from what I can gather, put Mexico in the dirt. Go from, obviously win the whole thing, but Mexico in the dirt's priority number one. But they don't know what theirs looks like yet. Hopefully, I'm going to be down at Leicester in August for their game. Hopefully they'll let me live stream it again, because doing commentary was actually really funny. Really funny. And I want to do more commentary, but as you can see, I'm at work on Sundays. So
yeah, I was going to say, how are you planning to manage that, just out of curiosity?
Ask for the day off and they give it me.
Just having a look. It looks like we haven't really got many score updates apart from the Cats. So the Cats versus the Bastard Bees, they're called. Blitz B find an open receiver for a passing TD. They go for 2 points. It's good. Cats 27, Blitz B 14. 10 minutes 30 remaining in the game. So that was quite an early kickoff for that one. So the Bees are coming back, but I do think the Cats will win that comfortably. Looking at anything else that we've got going on. We've got a few games kicking off in about the next 5 minutes, and then we've got a few more kicking off at 3 as well. The Spartans Revs game kicks off at 5 o'clock today. So we will not be bringing you any updates to go with that, unfortunately, guys.
I've got one here. So quarter one score for Ouse Valley versus Ipswich. It's 7-6 to the Ouse Valley Eagles. So
very close game then.
Very nice.
Yeah, so that's about 20 minutes in. So I'm assuming that's, like you said, quarter one, yeah?
Yep.
Wonderful. Yeah, and then the walkover awarded, or afforded, either or, to the Alphas versus Donny. Donny's a weird thing, and it's the North. Okay, are you on? Do you follow the Northants Knights Twitter?
No.
They have one of the greatest Twitters you talked about Scunthorpe's social media. These guys are unmatched. These guys legitimately are unmatched. So Twitter guys just popped on and said, turning on Gameday Live today, it looks like it's been presented by an old ECW wrestling team.
I don't know what wrestling is.
What? No. Oh, what? Did you? How old are you?
I feel like you're missing the joke here, my friend.
Probably.
Well, I've dyed my hair blonde because I've got back into doing pro wrestling.
Have you? I didn't know you did wrestling.
Yeah, I did wrestling for about 4 years, and then I stopped to play American football, and now I'm back.
I did not know you did wrestling at all.
Yeah, there you go. Full Force Wrestling in Leamington Spa. There you go.
Oh, well. I am missing the joke. And... Wow. What's your finisher?
Currently... Le Magistral Cradle.
What the fuck is that?
It's basically, so they're on all fours, you grab their arm, you twist around, you dive over the top, get them in a schoolboy with their arm trapped.
Right, okay. Well, it's a long way gone from the WWF Attitude Days that I used to watch.
Well, no, it fits the character.
Right, okay. Fits the character. Well, I'm not gonna condemn you for that. But I think one of us needs to get some shades just to wear them right now. There we go. Much better, Tebbs. Much better. Loving it.
So I can't. I'm looking at the Northumberland Vikings Yorkshire Rams stream because they're not updating the clock. I don't know if the game has started yet or if that's the end of the first. So, but it's 0-0 currently.
So
I
don't know if this is real or not, but I'm just going to bring up. I've just been sent something, and it's an NFL reference. So we've been told, EKP are up over Glasgow 7-0. So this show between us is probably going to be more NFL orientated than our previous ones because Mikey doesn't know a lot about the NFL, and both myself and Tebbs are quite obsessed. Have you seen this from Senor Ocho Cinco?
Oh Christ, what's he done now? Brilliant.
What?
He probably did it as well. That's the problem.
What?
Do you know the worst one is? There was a player, and unfortunately he played for the Dolphins. And every single game, he used to piss his pants. Like, genuinely. I'll find it. There was they did an NFL Films on him constantly pissing his pants.
That is outrageous. Right, so it's a huge return for Malik for 54 yards for the Cambridgeshire Cats. Womble pushes the ball closer. Cats have the ball on the Blitzby 2-yard line. Jimmy runs it in for the TD. PAT is good. Cats 34, Blitzby 14. So taking a bigger lead there.
So I've got the name, Channing Crowder. Channing revealed a very disgusting in-game habit. He peed on himself, not just once, but in every game of his 6-year NFL career. And he played for the Miami Dolphins. Rough. He's like, they won't want to touch me if I piss myself. Bro, that's I mean,
Would you rather have Channing Crowder's game pants, so post-pissed game pants, or Ocho Cinco's gloves as a fan?
Well, because people know who Ocho Cinco is, I imagine they'd be worth a lot of money, and then you can sell those to sperm banks. People rub them on themselves, try and get pregnant, have some B1 babies.
Make some athletes.
Make some B1 babies. There you go.
Yeah, no, it's outrageous, absolutely outrageous. So apologies for anybody who's just joined us on Sport Tank. This is going to be a less formal show because neither Steve nor Mikey are here to right the ship, meaning Tebbs and I are just going to go off the rails all the time. It's also quite quiet because not every game has kicked off so far. And the ones that have kicked off, we haven't really heard too much on.
I need to go back to Instagram to have a gander.
Yeah.
I think Yorkshire versus Northumberland is just about to kick off.
Yes, that's a 2:30 kickoff, so that'll be kicking off pretty much right now. So they're actually live streaming the game.
I've got it up on my phone.
So that's quite cool. It's being played in John Charles Stadium in Leeds there, and it's being live streamed as well. So that's very cool.
It's Berlin Thunder.
Not really seeing much else from anybody coming through at the moment. It's very quiet.
So easy question: who's winning the Super Bowl this year? There you go.
It's not an easy question though, is it? I think I'd have to sort of work my way from division winners and shit. Okay. I think obviously team with the best odds would probably be the Bills, to be honest.
Yeah.
I feel like they've just got the best combination of both offense and defense. The Rams, people will mention them because incumbent winners and running it back with the majority of the team that they've managed to get under contract. But Stafford hasn't practiced all off season. He had like an injection on his elbow to do with an injury that he carried last year. The Bucks have obviously still got.
Have we got a score for Nighthawks Giants?
No.
In that case, as of 19 minutes ago, it was 14 points to the Giants, 7 to the Hawks.
Ooh. Very interesting. Okay. And then we've just had Stephen asked, Wolves look like they only have 25 and 26 suited up for the game, have lost one through injury. Why so few travelling for a tough fixture? I'm not too sure, Stephen. I mean, I can speculate on this. I don't know. And the thing is, I want to add this is pure speculation. There's no evidence to attribute to this or anything. I haven't spoken to any of the Wolves players. I don't know anybody who's ever played for the Edinburgh Wolves. But I'm wondering if... And I don't want to speak ill, but I'm wondering if essentially they had possibly written this fixture off. And they're just going to look, we'll travel light, we'll save injuries, we've got playoffs coming. Because they are locked for, I believe, second or third. It just depends on how the rest of the fixtures go between Tamworth and Edinburgh. Tamworth already had the head-to-head. They were looking like they were probably thinking they might lose this one. Yes, Mr. Chewett. So, Giants Nighthawks, we just gave an update. Last we heard 14-7 to Mercy Rule over the Giants. And I think it might be 42. Yeah, it was 42-7 almost at the half. I'm assuming it's 42-7 at the half for Phoenix over the Wolves. But yeah, with this one, I truly think that maybe the Wolves essentially just wrote the game off. They go, look, we've got a couple of other games that are just as important for our playoffs. We're going to travel light. Look forward to the next one. I don't know if that's a good mentality to have. And I don't know if that's the case, but it's the only thing I can think of is why you'd only travel with 25, 26, unless, half the teams booked holidays and things like that. Like it's school holidays right now, isn't it? Tebbs, do you have kids? Apologies, guys. Tebbs has to serve a customer. So for anybody just joining us, Tebbs is at work filling in. So he does have to actually serve people and provide what he gets paid to do, which isn't what Sportank pays him to do because we don't pay him a fucking thing. Caesars 14-0 over the Bulls. We appreciate that. Thank you very much. Yes, Chewett. Massive points for the Phoenix. But I believe the reverse fixture between the two of them was pretty similar. If I remember, I think that was close to a 50 burger as well. Let me just have a look, because I remembered backing the Wolves the first time round because they'd been running hot and the Phoenix had just come off a loss to Manchester. They'd been struggling, and I was like, you know what? I think the Wolves can do it. And then they played them and they got spanked. 36-12 actually. So it was a solid beating, but it wasn't a hiding. But this one is just. Whew. So Wolves have fallen apart in Q2 after a competitive Q1. That ties in with what we saw from Wesley as well, Stephen. So Wesley mentioned that it was a slow start from the Phoenix. Didn't like the Wolves scoring on them in the first quarter and have been on fire ever since. So it's interesting because for that division, it's it's all to play for. Now I can't remember, and someone can correct me if I'm wrong, if playoffs are top 3 or top 2. Because if it's top 2, Wolves are going to miss out. Because Tamworth is going to hold the tiebreaker over them completely. And the losses to Manchester as well for them are just not going to be helpful. So if it's only top 2 make it, I can't remember. I thought it was, for some reason I thought it might have been top 3. But if it's only top 2, then we're looking at Manchester and Tamworth going up against both London teams.
That's a good one.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone's at the F1. Phoenix had no passing game in Q1, seemed to get it together in Q2. So, what was the Breens game of the week for this week?
Good question.
I wonder if what have we got? I'm just going to have a right. So they've called the Rev Spartans game of the week.
No, okay.
Interesting.
I mean,
okay. No, to be fair, I did.
Game.
Yeah, and when it came up to it, I went I found it hard to sort of pick a winner in that one to start with. So no, I'll take it back. It's good. It's good. Right, EKP are in. So 13-0 to EKP over the Glasgow Tigers. Looks like the Warhawks are up 21-0. Actually 28-0 on a pick 6. There we go. I was like, oh, score 14-0. Oh, 21-0.
As much as I love the Warriors posting clips on their Instagram, I'd love it if they also posted
score updates. Yeah,
be nice.
Yeah, so the Humber Warhawks, their Twitter guy actually posted the updates for the first few ones on his own personal Twitter, and then realised that had to retweet those updates from the Humber account and switch across to the Humber account. The Warhawks take a 28-0 lead so far. As it's a pick 6, Brad Wright intercepts it, takes it to the house. Jordan Edmondson adds the extra point. So that is turning into a little bit of a shellacking there for the Warhawks were versing, I believe it was the Lightning. Yeah, that was never going to be a close one. No offense, anybody who likes South Lincolnshire, but there's a reason that they're known as Boo Lightning around here. Have you got anything else yourself there, Tebbs, in terms of...
No, I've gone back to the Vikings-Rams stream, and it's still 0-0 according to their scoreboard, but I'm not entirely sure if their scoreboard works, because some people have got professional standards when they have a scoreboard app on their phone and do games.
I used to get some scores and stuff off of ScoreStream, but it's just horrendous. It's not very good at all. So, there we go. Swindon 6, Worcestershire... Oh my God, they both turned up. So neither team has decided to walk away. My God.
Come on. Chris Tebbett's game of the week.
Oh, the Source versus the Storm.
Yeah.
Oh, That is not a game of the week that I would want to witness. I will tell you that now. We shouldn't be too far off the Cats. There we go. So Blitz B forced to punt. 6:26 left on the clock there in the Cats Blitz B game. That's currently 34-14 to the Cats over the bastard Bees, as they like to call themselves. Yeah, Swindon, Worcestershire, 6-0. 6-all. It's just. So end of first quarter, Aztecs 0, Warriors. Oh, are you gonna do it with me? Are you gonna do it with me, Tebbs? No, he's not. Okay, Tebbs has got another customer. So at the end of first quarter, we got the Aztecs Warriors. Ooh, no! I have to do it on my own, and it's just not as fun. I'm not gonna lie. End of Q1, yeah. So end of Q1 in the Humber game as well. They lead 28-0. I believe that that's going to be a very painful outing for the South Links Lightning against the Warhawks. What else have we got? Having a look through. Unfortunately, with Tebbs otherwise occupied with customers today, it is going to be a little bit of a all over the shop broadcast that we've got for you today, as I am having to do all the little tinkering things as well for score updates and things like that. So, just going to keep apologising for how this game is not looking as incredible as this day is not looking as incredible as it could be. But we got some good talking points here. So the Knicks and the Wolves, started close, and then the Knicks have just come out and absolutely smacked them. Warriors and the Aztecs all knotted up at the end of the first quarter, 0-0. Close games between EKP and the Tigers, the Giants and the Nighthawks at 14-7. Just making my way down, seeing if we've got everything else there. 14-34 for the Cats over the Bees. Warhawks at 28-0 over South Links and coming into quarter 2. I think that will cover everything for now. So Rams punt on their first possession, but the defense has the. Okay. So the Rams punt on their first possession, but the defense has the O today. 71% of the earth is covered by water. The other 29% is covered by Nat Derrick and Tyler Broad on today's evidence so far from the Yorkshire Academy Rams. I still think the first time I ever heard that saying was to do with I think it was when Luke Kuechly won defensive MVP. Yeah, and the NFL tweeted it out that 71% of the world was covered by water and the other 29% was covered by Luke Kuechly. So I like to see appropriation like that.
And then he left, and then the Panthers became awful.
God, yeah. Retired because he didn't want his brain turning to soup while he was on the field.
Smart man, smartest man in all football.
Yeah, 100%. The man who can realise that his concussions are not going to be good for his later life.
I've got another NFL question for you if you want.
Okay.
Who's going to have a worse record, the Texans, the Seahawks, or the Panthers?
I believe it's going to be the Panthers. I think the Panthers are going to walk away with the number 1 pick.
I don't know. I think if the Seahawks don't get Baker, then the Seahawks are going to sheg it. Pete Carroll's going to he's going to retire into his Seattle mansion in the hills, eating nothing but salmon and drinking.
Did you see the US Open having a go?
Roasted.
Yeah. For those of you who haven't seen it, I'll find the picture and bring it up. But essentially, it was they were talking about golf, and then some Seahawks fan in his name on his Twitter account piped up and said that golf wasn't a real sport, and they responded that he should look in his own backyard, seeing he's going to be watching 17 games of Drew Lock this season.
I'll send it to you.
I've got it here. I'm just going to bring it up.
Mate, my favourite part about that is I can just imagine Drew Lock just at home eating his cereal, and then that comes through, and he just goes roasted.
Dude's catching strays, like so much so that DK Metcalf had to step in and be like, "Yo, let's chill." So I'm just going to bring it up here, so here we can see.
He does deserve it though. Drew Lock is rubber.
So Seahawks fan for life, not a sport. Not a sport, says the person about to watch 17 games of Drew Lock at QB. And DK Metcalf pop up. He's like, all right, chill. We get the point. US Open. After reviewing your photo from before the draft, we agree. But it's just you gotta feel bad. Like, don't get me wrong. I know he's not a quarterback, but I feel bad for Drew Lock catching strays, man. He's just sitting at home chilling, and then they're just like, well, you're not a quarterback.
I will say some of the boys from the Colonials went to Russell Wilson's meet and greet and got a few pictures with him. That was pretty cool.
That's quite cool.
I didn't go because I think he's washed. I think he's rubbish. I think he's not going to do anything in Denver. There you go.
Wow. That is a controversial take.
Yeah, and if you read my betting thing the other day, it's got like his under passing yards for the season. I'm like, smash it. But I did find out that Jerry Jeudy got off all of his legal trouble, so maybe only a $5 on that one.
Okay. Have you got an update?
No, I was going to say an NFL point.
Oh, I've got a score update.
That's
Tyler Broad. So Tyler Broad scored. So it's like a story that's come through from the Yorkshire Academy Rams here. So they obviously mentioned about 29% being covered by Nat Derrick and Tyler Broad. And then they've said, as I've hit the send on the last tweet praising the secondary, the Vikings QB throws up a prayer and Tyler Broad answers with a pick. And then they'll be giving out Tuesday's Euro Millions in the next tweet. Or I would, if Tyler hadn't just scored a touchdown on the offensive side of the ball straight after his interception gave the Rams the ball back. Two PAT missed. Rams lead 6-0 over the Vikings AFC. Wow. Okay, the presidents. Let's go the presidents.
Not even you can believe you've just said that, can you?
No, I can't. I'm going to have to watch this back and make sure that was the words that came out of my mouth. But, I mean, go on. Let's do it.
Mate, honestly, this is what happens. I come on the stream, all my picks are about to smash it. I mean, I didn't actually pick DC, but whatever. I'm not going back on it.
Yeah. Somehow, I think Gateshead might still be able to right the ship. I'll be honest with you.
That cheeky 2 point, though. I do keep looking over at my Madden screen, and I'm 2 points down. And I do my job well, ladies and gentlemen, despite the fact that I am doing this, and I've also been playing Madden on my Xbox.
Yeah. Just working hard or hardly working, depending on how you want to put it.
Hey,
we've got the cats in here. We've got the cats themselves. So we're following them on Twitter and we're getting them jumping into the stream itself. Welcome, Cambridgeshire. Congratulations on your assumed win with the 2-minute warning left. Cats 34, Blitzby 14. So nice convincing win there for Cambridgeshire. I'm just going to have a look, see if we've got anything else here. I wanted to talk to you actually about the Warriors Aztecs score. So that was 0-0 at the end of the first quarter.
I've got another update. Let me just go back. So it's currently Ipswich 14, Ouse Valley 7. God damn it, Nick.
There we go. The Cardinals.
Pull your squad together, Nick.
Big Dick Nick, as Mikey is prone to calling him. So that's 14-7, you say, for the Cardinals over
14-7 for the Cardinals.
Yeah, okay. Cool.
Which must mean they must have got a 2-point conversion on their last touchdown.
Yes, because it was they were down 7-6.
Yeah.
What is your thoughts then on the Aztecs holding the Warriors 0 in the first quarter?
It's interesting.
Do you make anything of it at all?
I feel a bit better about it. I feel a bit better about my pick. I mean, again, I don't think it will stay that way for very long.
No.
But at least you've got something that you can brag about later. There you go. They held him to a quarter.
Yeah. So it's for my sort of personal thoughts on it is I think the Warriors start slow. I think they are a slow starting team, and I think they have been for the last couple of years. every time we tend to get sort of Warriors updates when they do come through. It's if it's early in the game, it's a close game, and then it's just you see the final score update, and you're like, oh shit, okay, they beat them by 50, right?
Yeah.
Wow. But it's just, I just feel like they're just very, very slow at their starting. But speaking of going the opposite way, teams that are not slow with their starting, Humber, touchdown Warhawks, 35-0. Josh Guthrie connects with running back Jordan Edmondson for a 30-yard passing TD. Then Edmondson steps up and kicks the extra point himself.
I love Brooklyn.
Yeah, I know, right? You've just run 30 yards, and then you've got to line up and kick the PAT. So big lead there for Humber. I think that's going to be a 50 burger, and we're going to see running clock in the second half. That'll probably slow that score down a little bit.
I'm so looking back on all the stuff happening to Brittle. I'm excited to get back and play it if Gloucestershire can step up their university administration.
Caesars have scored again as well. Misdirection play. PAT is good, so the Caesars lead the Birmingham Bulls 21-0.
Good, shout out Paul Mowbray on the Caesars. Absolute scumbag.
Shout out to Paul, you scumbag.
Actually, I think he's just had a kid, so I don't think he'll be playing. So, congratulations, Paul.
Touchdown Warhawks. 42-0 as Brad Wright picks off the ball again and takes it back to the house. So that is now 42-0 for the Warhawks over the Lightning. It will be interesting to see if the Lightning even come out second half. Because we had, I don't know if you remember or know this, first time they played Scunthorpe, Scunthorpe had put the juice on them in the first half. They weren't going to come out and play the second half unless Scunthorpe benched their starters. And then Scunthorpe benched the starters. Yeah. So Scunthorpe benched the starters. South Links came out, scored once, started giving it the big uns. So Scunthorpe put their starters back in. That is some Brit Ball shenanigans right there.
Gather, they're just South Links are a strange squad.
I don't understand because they're new. They've only come about in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And I don't understand the creation of them.
No. Well, I think it's realistically Peterborough needed a squad. It's a shame because the Peterborough Royals are absolutely demolishing people in the NWFL. They're honestly their play really interesting. They run a double option to the running back.
Yeah, so we've just had two Phoenix updates. So Phoenix versus Wolves, no longer a contest, getting ugly for the visitors there for the Wolves. Unfortunately, Steve, we've heard nothing on the Surge Miners, and we would love that to change because we've got a little bit of a vested interest in the Miners as a team here at Sport Tank. So I know both Steve and Mikey are not even closet Miners fans. They are open, passionate Miners fans and want to see them do well.
I think last year I had the same thing about the Nottingham Raiders. I was like, I just want to see Nottingham do really well for some reason. I've got no idea why.
We've got Tanya asking if we've got any Solent Thrashers score updates. We haven't. I've messaged a couple of people I know that are with Solent, and I haven't heard anything yet. So I will.
Who have they got?
The Thrashers are playing the Olympians, so it might be on the Olympians Instagram because they usually post some updates.
No, nothing from the Olympians either. Damn.
Okay. Yeah, I've messaged a mate of mine who's linked up with the Thrashers coaching staff, so I'm not sure if we'll get anything, just because he's coaching. And then another mate of mine who's playing.
No, the Blitz have scored.
Yes, Blitz B. I was literally just reading that, and I was going to bring that up. Blitz B score a passing TD. They go for 2 extra points. It's good. Cats 34, Blitz B 22. So thank you, Darren, giving us the update there as well.
Coming back. Yes.
The Bastard Bees. Yeah, there's not long left in that game, though. This is inside the 2 minutes, if you remember, that we heard from Cambridgeshire. I'd assume that's probably... That could very well be sort of, last play. Birmingham's on the scoreboard. So Cal with the deep pass to Beck sets up a short TD run for Cal himself. PAT no good. 21-6.
I mean, I still want the Caesars to win, no matter the score, because
my mate who I messaged asking him how the Solent game was going has just sent me a video of Silverstone, and he's just said, "Sorry, man, not there, dickhead." So Chewett was right. People are at Silverstone this week. Blitzby tried the onside kick. Ball goes out of bounds before going 10 yards. Cat's ball on the Blitzby 45-yard line. So I would say that is the comeback. Well and truly dead. I didn't want the comeback. No offense, Blitzby. But I was happy with the Cats win. But yeah, that is well and truly in the dirt. Just sending a message to see if I can get some more scoring updates. Let's have a look, see here, see what else we've got. So what do you think's more surprising at the moment? The fact that Bristol and the Warriors nil first quarter, or the fact that both Worcestershire and Swindon wanted to play?
Worcestershire and Swindon.
Yeah, I know, right?
Worcestershire and Swindon. Yeah.
Or the presidents are leading the senators 8-6.
Nope, still Swindon. No, still Swindon.
Still Swindon.
There you go.
There we go. Cats are in here. The Cats take a knee to win the game. Final score 34. Blitzby 22. So that's a good win for the Cats there. And I think
that's how you can get it all done nice and early.
I'm just going to check this. Yeah, I'm just going to check this. Right, they've got 3 games left in the season. So they've got the Thunder in 2 weeks' time. Then they've got the Stallions in 3 weeks' time. And then they've got a 2-week bye, and they get the Blitzby as their last game of the season, beginning of August. And they are currently, I believe, 6-5 after a loss to the Hornets, which they avenged. I can see them going. Sorry, not 6-5. Played their games. They've played 6. They're 5-1. I can see them going 9-1.
Yeah, it's doable. The Cats are a good side.
Yes, they are. Which would set up a very, very interesting playoff matchup, because I believe that they would probably be looking. So they're SFC East. So if we were to go, I'm assuming they verse the SFC West. Like whoever wins the SFC East plays the SFC West is my assumption. Which means they're probably set for a matchup. If it's the top 2. Do you know the playoff structure?
No. But I do have an update.
Okay, yes, go.
I do have an update. It's Oz Valley have tied it up. 14-14 in the second quarter.
Is that so that's Oz Valley Ipswich, isn't it?
Yes.
Ooh. And that's Q2 now.
He's heard my cries.
Yeah, the rallying cries of Tebbs all the way from his vape shop. So Rams D makes a big stop with the sideline playing their part with the support, helping the Vikings false start and then turnover on downs. Ooh, that is not ideal if you're the Vikings. Let's have a look. See what else have we got going here.
Okay, I'm getting nothing from Instagram, so I'm going to check again.
Yeah, no, I'm not seeing a damn.
See, that's what works about Uniball. They just shove it all on Instagram. Don't have to worry about it.
It's weird, right? Because some of the senior ball teams do it. Like there was Bristol, probably about 4 games back. they literally put every single play on Instagram. Like every single offensive drive that they had, they did like they had about 140 things on their again hyperbole, exaggerating, but there was a shitload of videos on their Instagram story because they videoed every single offensive snap, which I think is over the top. But at the same time, I'd take that over no offensive snaps.
That's true. That's true. Show the defense. Show the defense.
Yeah, no. So still nothing in the requests for Solent scoring updates, unfortunately, guys. I've messaged a few people I know that are associated with the club and the team, and yet to hear back. See what else that we've got. The thing is with the Instagram as well is I don't know enough about how Instagram operates to be able to know if I'm doing the right thing when I'm searching through looking for things. I'm this could be how it works, but I don't know. But at the moment it seems like we're quite quiet on the news front, unfortunately, guys. So I feel like this is going to be a dragging show, and I'm probably going to wrap it up at 4 when you have to go.
Yes, because I want to go home. Are we going to put anything in the banner? Because I've just realised that we haven't got one.
No, unless we've got 3 people, we don't run a ticker, just because we haven't got the we just haven't got the ability to run it without the manpower. Tanya just said, thanks anyway, just wanted a heads up on the moon. Dad will be in when he gets back. I'm trying, Tanya. If I can get something for you, we'll let you know, definitely, because I do have a vested interest in the Thrashers. I do like knowing how they get on. There's something in my beard on this side, and it's driving me insane. I can see it on camera. I found so come on, Tebbs, we're gonna have some fun with this. I'm gonna throw playoff structure away because I don't really know how it works. And I'm literally just gonna go based on who I think is the sort of the best team. So I think Prem North. I think the Titans are gonna win the Prem North.
Really, even now after their loss to Tamworth.
Yeah, because I think so. Tamworth obviously bounced back in the reverse. So Manchester beat them in the first. Tamworth bounced back in the reverse fixture and have been really, really solid. I think the more I think about it, I don't know, man. I'm still going to stick with it. I still think Manchester is a really I think it would be a very, very good game between the two of them. But I think I'm gonna back the Titans to win the Prem North. Unfortunately, nothing right now, Mick. We are making inquiries, but nothing as yet. Unfortunately, my man. Sorry about that.
Thing is, I want to pick the Titans as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah. As much as I'd love to be you picked Tamworth. I'd like the Titans because. I remember just the talk going into the first game with Tamworth. It's like, who could realistically, dethrone Tamworth? And then the Titans come in and just go, how about some of this? And it's like,
yeah. How about we slap you in your own backyard? Well, no, actually, I think it was at Manchester the first game.
It was, yeah.
So, Yorkshire Academy Rams. I'm no scientist, but I think my maths was wrong earlier. Tyler Broad actually covers 50% of the earth. He's just ripped off a huge gain for his second touchdown of the game on a perfectly executed run play. 2 PAT converted. Rams lead the Vikings 14-0. The Humber Warhawks get a safety. So, not sure who forced it, but we'll give it to the full D-line. Southlynx took over on the 1-yard line, and we forced their fullback back into the end zone. 44-0 to the Humber Warhawks in Q2.
It's Q2.
It's Q2.
That's bad.
Yeah, I think the running clock is going to take over on that one, and it will be a lot. Like I think that'll hit 50 in the first half, and then they'll probably score maybe 10 or 15 ish in the second half. It's definitely running away from them though.
Mikey Gray with a good update. Big fan.
Yeah, the Scunthorpe Bowl. Scunthorpe 19/13. Yes, we did mention this very briefly, Mikey. The fact that Donny just got scared, just 100% got scared, pulled out of the game, and then we've got an internal sort of blue versus white game, which I saw they were talking about for Scunny there, with all proceeds going to charity. So happy to see that there's still going to be football on, even when your opponents are dicks.
Scunthorpe just seemed like just a group of people just having a great time. They always seem like they're just balling out, just having a great time, which is nice to see.
Scunthorpe always amuse me a little bit, just because the name's got cunt in it. Like for lack of a better way of putting it, like just the name.
Put as much emphasis on it as you want as well. You can do it soft, Scunthorpe, or Scunthorpe. Scunthorpe.
I think the first time I encountered the name Scunthorpe was, I think it was playing FIFA, and I just remembered seeing them in whatever, the Football League 2 or something like that, and I was like, what a name. What a name.
I just remember there was one, like someone had like their own team on FIFA, and it was Into Your Nan, which I always found really funny.
Oh gosh.
Good old Into Your Nan. What a squad.
Right. Okay. So getting back on the train there from the Paul Glover. So for the whole Prem itself, I think the Warriors win it. I think they beat.
Yep.
I think the Titans finish top in the North, which means the Warriors will end up playing the Phoenix in the playoffs, and I think they beat the Phoenix, and then I think they beat whoever is out of the Blitz and the Titans. Like I don't think anybody else is going to get close to them. So I've got the Warriors for Prem.
Yep.
For Div 1, let's have a look. See, this is going to be sort of complex because right.
Falcons? What are they talking about?
Yeah, so that's the thing. So it's you got the Vikings, the Rams, and the Pirates are all sort of linked in together in the NFC 1 North, and then the Falcons are just running away with the NFC 1 South, and then the SFC 1 East. You've got the Cats comfortable. I think they've got a 1 or 2 game. I think they've got a 2-game gap now over the Hornets. And then the Cheetahs, which are sort of locked in at the moment with the Bobcats and the Knights all on 5 wins. So I think if there is a North versus South final, I don't know if there is, but if there is a North versus South final, I think it will be the Falcons versus the Cats, and I would give it to the Falcons. So I think the Falcons beat the Cats.
No, you know what? Now I'm going to go with Cambridgeshire Cats. I like Cambridgeshire Cats too much. I like Cambridgeshire Cats too much.
Very nice. I can't blame you. I can't blame you.
Just as people.
Yep, can't blame you. They're a quality outfit. Right, okay. So, for the NFC Div 2 in the North, there's obviously 4 divisions for the North, but I think there's only sort of 2 teams that you really need to pay attention to, and that would be Scunny and the Stags. So who do you think wins Stags versus Scunthorpe?
I don't know. I've just got a feeling about Scunthorpe. I've got a feeling deep down in the pit of my soul. I really do. I really do think the Alphas have clocked on something special this season. I really do. So,
Mikey's been saying that as well. You're not the first person to be saying that, actually. Mikey's.
There's a glow around Scunthorpe, and it's not the whatever it normally is, which is the pollution from the sea. It's I'd go Scunthorpe.
Okay. See, that was one thing I was going to bring up.
Yeah.
So Tom's mentioned it depends on where, because it's a decent travel for either team. for Scunthorpe or Highland Stags. So that if it's, I'm assuming they would probably try play it at like a centralized location, but those centralized locations are always in England, and they're always like unless they're able to maybe get the game played in like Newcastle or something, or maybe even like Carlisle, like a halfway in between. I think that the Stags are going to have to do more travelling. Because you've picked Scunny, I'm going to go the opposite way, and I'm going to pick the Stags if it comes down to the two of them.
Oh my God! Be quiet a second. I've got one for you. Touchdown, Bristol Aztecs. Extra point is good. 7-0 Aztecs over the Warriors.
Darren's just popped in with that as well. I think they did this last time. Obviously, we don't get box scores from the Aztecs. From any of the Britball games, or we don't provide box scores either. But I think Bristol hit first against the Warriors last time they played as well. Or it was either they hit first or it was Solent hit first the last time they played them. But yeah, it's
I've got another one. The Nighthawks have scored a touchdown. It is 13-17 to the Sheffield Giants at the minute.
Do we know? Is that in Q2? Do we know? I'm assuming that's probably
It's
like
half-time.
Q3. Is it halftime? Is it? Because that was a
half-time,
1:30. That was a 1:30 kickoff. So. There we go. Scott's popped in. There we go. Thanks very much for that, Scott. We got Spartans Hornets at 0 end of the first quarter. Right. So I'm gonna come back to So I think I would say that the Pirates and the Tigers have gone to halftime. EKP is up 13-0 over the Tigers. A couple of updates from the Bulls. Knott's DB had a sure pick 6 fall through his grasp. And Joe Parsons for the Bulls was the fortunate recipient. Bulls driving, but a pushback by a penalty, and now they've made their way to 4th down. We've got the end of Q1 there in the Yorkshire Vikings game. So end of Q1 coincides with the end of a Vikings offensive drive. Short punt out of bounds to give the Yorkshire Rams possession on halfway coming into the second quarter there. So
not ideal. Not what you want.
Yeah. No. But so I would think, I would pick I'm going to pick the Stags then if it comes down to them versus the Alphas. Didn't Kent go 10 million for it? I think you could be right about that, Darren. I do think the Exiles were leading in that game. I think it was like the first game of the season or one of the first 2 weeks of the season. And everybody was like, what the fuck's going on here? And then the Warriors kicked the shit out of them. So it happens. It does happen. Let me just double check that I'm not just talking up my ass when I say these things, because I do tend to waffle. Actually, I think that might have been last season. Now I think about it, Darren, that Kent took the lead. Just because looking at the scores, they lost 56-6. So maybe they took a 6-0 lead, maybe, but they'd been blown out in pretty much every other match against anybody. So I don't know. For some reason, I get the feeling that Kent score was last year. For some reason, I'm not sure. Right. So we had that was for Div 2 in the north. So that was coming down to the Stags versus the Alphas. So Div 2 in the south, right?
Let me go back to it.
So you would have the North Ants Knights, the East Essex Sabres, the Norwich Devils, and the Britchula Pasties. The Britchula Pasties? The Bristol Apache.
Good old Bristol Pasties.
The Bristol Pasties. So the Apache,
the genius marketing opportunity, and if they don't take full advantage of some hot, fresh Bristol Pasties,
come back.
Come on, Revolution.
Oh, the Revs down.
Help me out. No.
Are the Revs down or just no updates?
Well, is that not Holton Spartans? So it'll be 7.
That's not till 5 o'clock kickoff.
Then don't worry about me.
Oh, sorry. This is the East. This is the other Spartans.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I didn't see the comments. I was on another page. I was doing the score.
No, that's fine. I've just got my Spartans mixed up.
Yeah, no, this is the Essex Spartans with the touchdown for 7-0. 6-0. Sorry, there we go. 6-0 over the Hornets with the PAT no good. So it's a good start there for the Spartans who've had an up and down season. And Russ has popped in just to let us know the kickoff there in the Cheetahs game. And the Cheetahs are playing the South Wales Warriors. I expect a comfortable win for the Cheetahs in this one, and I think the majority of us do, apart from Hayden, who went out and picked the Warriors. Now, if anybody's wondering why Tebbs is staring off into space, that's only joined us recently, Tebbs is currently working at the moment. He is at his real-life job, serving customers, so he does have to occasionally put himself on mute and talk to people and do his job. So that's why it looks like he's just having conversations with nobody at all. So 6-0 there. Spartans over the Hornets. Very, very good. Good luck, Russ, against the South Wales Warriors. The majority of us are here at Sport Anchor rooting for you guys and hoping to see a strong win there for you, mate. So best of luck. Having a quick look here. So inside the first half, passing complete, Knott's ball inside the final 2 minutes of the half. And then the Bulls D manages to hold strong and force a punt there. So Caesars are taking an early lead, but it's so the Caesars have got an early lead, but the Bulls are doing everything they can to not let the game get away from them. And we've got halftime at Portsmouth Rugby Club, and it's the Rushmore Knights 8, the Dreadnoughts 0.
Shock.
To be fair, that's closer than I thought it would be.
See? Picks are coming in.
Yeah, that is close. No, I don't think they're going to win. It's just closer than I thought it was going to be.
Hey man, weird says when I'm picking the spread. I'm not picking the game. I'm picking the spread. I
didn't know we were given game lines. I didn't know we could pick the spread.
Imagine that. So I think I might make that my new thing. You know, I'm gonna start doing game lines for Brit.
You'd have to figure out sort of like what the Vegas like algorithm is for them creating game lines.
Yeah, that's me. That's what they call me. They call me Vegas Moneyline Chris Tebbit.
Chris Moneyline Tebbit.
That's what they call me. That's my wrestling name, don't you know?
That's your wrestling name, is it? Moneyline Tebbit.
Moneyline.
But you'd have to be because you'd have to go down a rabbit hole figuring out and like there's that because the thing is, I was reading an article about this. I'm just gonna take a quick drink for a second. That usually models that use strength of schedule as a predictor for the NFL, so based on team wins from the previous year, are less accurate than models that will use the Vegas moneyline predictions for the coming year, like essentially Vegas win totals. So Vegas will release their win totals quite early in the off season to allow bettors to get their money in and see if those lines and everything are going to move. Much
like what I've done, betting that the Jags will make the playoffs this year.
Jags to make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
As a wild card.
I've got of course. I've got Jags to make the playoffs and Jags to have 10 or more wins.
10 or more wins.
Yeah, and that's an ACCA. That's an ACCA as well. So if they double that up, I think I'll get about 700 quid.
How much did you put on that?
Oh, like $5. The odds aren't good, if you can believe it. The odds aren't good.
I can't believe it, to be honest.
Yeah, but the thing is that I don't know. I've got the feeling. The feeling. If anyone watched the betting show I did a few years ago, that feeling equated to not much. I mean, I will say when I do the betting odds, I want it known that this year in the Super Bowl, I put 10 quid on a non-QB to throw a pass and to throw a touchdown, and I put a tenner on both, and I won about 150 quid on Joe Mixon, who is my fucking hero for throwing that TD. I was honestly like, I'll say this now, I was gone. I was in the void. I drank too much. He threw that touchdown. It was breathing new life. I was resurrected from my stupor. I went straight to the bar, cashed it all out immediately, straight to the bar, bought 4 cocktail pitchers that I didn't finish. That's the end of the story.
So I won, I think about 70 quid. And when was this? Let's see. I'm going to have a look. I think I won about 70 or 80 quid on the Rams winning the Super Bowl. Because I put a cheeky bit. I think it was after they traded for Stafford.
Yeah.
I put a bet down. I put a bet down for them to win the Super Bowl, and it came through. It won't let me choose it. I'm trying to see. No, it's not going to let me do it. It doesn't matter. I was trying to see exactly how much I won from when I put it down, but we've been told by the Birmingham Bulls that there's more flags than the Jubilee Parade here. So they're still in the closing minute of the half. The Bulls have the ball deep inside their own half. We've got halftime at the Warhawks Southlinks Lightning game. That is a 44-0 to the Warhawks there. AFC, it's the Vikings ball after they come up with a pick. And on come the Yorkshire Academy D with the Rams leading 14-0 in the second quarter there. The Cheetahs score. Deep pass, PAT good. Cheetahs 7-0, South Wales. Cheetahs 7, South Wales Warriors 0. That is an early score there for the Cheetahs. That's great because that game was literally only just kicked off. Because we had Russ popping in to let us know that was just kicking off. So that was a 3 p.m. kickoff, but I think that might have been delayed a little bit. By about 10 minutes or so. So we've got the Hornets are down 6-0 versus the Spartans, thanks to Scott and his update. So I'm just going to go through a bit of a rundown while I've got you, and if I miss any, please let me know, Mr. Tebbit. So we've got the Tamworth Phoenix 50, Edinburgh Wolves 7, and that's deep into the second half now. We've got the halftime score for the Giants Nighthawks was Sheffield 14, Merseyside 13. We're into Q2 in the Bristol Aztecs London Warriors game, and that's the Aztecs leading the Warriors 7-0. We've got the East Kilbride Pirates and the Glasgow Tigers, and the Tigers are up. The Tigers are down 13-0. We've got a halftime score from the Solent game. So for anybody who cared about that, Solent is up 14-6 at halftime over the O's. That's just literally just come in from a mate of mine. So appreciate that, as I know there was a few people asking after the Solent score.
I've got one update. Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, go.
Eagles 21. Ipswich 14. So Ouse Valley have scored again. It's 7-7 Warriors and Aztecs as well.
So the Warriors have evened it up. Okay.
They certainly have done. And I believe that's all I've got so far.
Right, so we'll start this again and we'll go down and we'll just let people know if we need scores. So we got Tamworth 50, Edinburgh 7. Halftime score, Sheffield 14, Merseyside 13. Aztecs and Warriors are tied up at 7-all. We've got the Thrashers up 14-6 over the Olympians at halftime. No update on the Blitz Exiles game yet because it's a 4 p.m. kickoff. Halftime, we've got the EKP over the Tigers at 13-0. We are yet to receive any updates on the Wolverines Goliaths game, which I believe kicked off at 3. We've got the Rams and the Vikings. The Rams lead 14-0 over the Vikings in Q2. The Caesars are up 21-0 over the Birmingham Bulls, and that is coming into halftime as well. The Spartans Revolution game kicks off at 5 o'clock, so we've got no updates on that yet. Early in Q1, we've got the Cheetahs up 7-0 over the South Wales Warriors. Half-time, we've got the Rushmore Knights up 8-0 over the Portsmouth Dreadnoughts. The Cambridgeshire Cats and London Blitz B have gone full-time, and that was a 34-22 victory for the Cats over the Blitz B. We are in, I believe, quarter one for the Essex Spartans versus the London Hornets, and that is a 6-0 lead to the Spartans over the Hornets. Nothing on the Dumfries Hunters, Dunfermline Kings at this point. Surgeley Miners, we haven't seen anything either. So...
We have got one.
Oh, we have?
Yep.
This is the part where you read it.
Oh, Lee lead 7-6 at the half. Sorry, I'm not
Let's go, Lee! Yes!
Boom. The sauce.
The sauce.
14, Swindon 6. Come on!
Is that half time, is it?
I don't know. Darren, if you could fill us in.
Yeah, if you could fill us in, Darren, that would be amazing. So last time we heard, the DC Presidents were up 8-6 over the Gateshead Senators. Scunthorpe Alphas were awarded the 1-0 walkover versus the Mustangs after the Mustangs went cowardly yesterday, but they were 19-13 at halftime in their annual Scunny Bowl. And at halftime there in the Warhawks Lightning game, the Warhawks lead the Lightning 44-0. As you mentioned, the source, Worcestershire Black Knights are up against the Swindon Storm today, and the Black Knights lead that 14-6. We've got the Apache. I'm going to say Somerset because I think I pronounced the W word differently to you guys, and Steve always makes fun of me. Well, I don't know how do you guys pronounce it because I pronounce it the opposite way.
No, go on, just say it.
I say Wivens.
I mean, that's fine, I guess.
You guys say Wyverns, I'm pretty sure. So
yeah, we do, but you know.
Yeah, I say Wivens. So the
Apache.
Apache. No updates on that game at this point in time. We're into Q2 there. Ouse Valley leads 21-14 over the Ipswich Cardinals. Nothing from East Kent Berkshire at this moment in time, and unfortunately, the Highland Stags Clyde Valley Blackhawks was postponed in the NFC 2 North. Wonderful. Right, so Darren's mentioned, looks like, there we go, 56-7, looking strong heading into the last fixtures. You know, I don't know if you put any of these on screen, by the way, Tebbs, but you're allowed. But again, Tebbs is serving customers, so we appreciate that. So Phoenix 56-7 over the Wolves. So they do get the burger there. It's a big victory coming down the stretch there. And at halftime, it's all square. Aztecs 7, Warriors 7. So we've been told that we've been told that is very, very shocking for a halftime score. And maybe Tebbs will come through with his prediction, picking the Aztecs to win it. So we've just looking at we got some further updates there. So good punt return from Knotts, given us a chance to score with 11 seconds to play. Unbelievably, the Caesars score on the run with the final play of the half. Kick is good, 28-6 at the half there. So a bit of a change in the Caesars Bulls score from 21-0. It's now 28-6 at halftime. Just going to make my way down here. Tanya and Mick both stoked to see Solent with the lead. I'm happy to see this. So thank you for this, Niall. Lee leads 7-6 at the half. Kevin, we've just seen that as well from the Bristol team there. Half-time 7-all between the Aztecs and the Warriors. That's huge. Mark, thank you very much. Hunters Kings half-time. So that's one we didn't have before, so we appreciate that. We love getting these updates here where we've heard nothing from the entire game, and next one team's up 30-0. And Ipswich have evened it. Oh, that's going to put Tebbs is not going to be happy when he sits back down after serving this customer. He's a big OVE fan, and he was happy with the fact that they were taking the lead there against the Cardinals. So a 14-all is not going to sit well with him. And who would win, Apache or North Ants in the playoffs? I'm gonna go Northants. I've got like a really weird relationship with Northants where I've never been to Northants, but they are literally my favourite team in the entire of Britball. You know, their Twitter guys seem to love me for some reason. I have no idea why. I've become a bit of a cult hero to them, I believe. And Tebbs, I had some heartbreaking news for you, but this just in from the Ipswich Cardinals official Twitter: Cardinals 14, Oz Valley Eagles 21 halftime.
Yeah. Oh, is it halftime?
Yeah. So Ipswich evened it up at 14 all, and the Eagles have taken the lead, 21-14.
Well, good. Sorry don't sorry me. Give me. I need more. I'm surprised. Oz Valley's putting on points.
And that's 7 all half time.
I'm just imagining Steve being carried out of there like a hero for.
Oh mate, he will be running up and down and pulling a muscle with how he's just celebrating. Well, he's not an early celebrator though, so I don't know about that to be honest. But
no,
he'll be chuffed. He'll be quietly chuffed.
He was telling me, he's like, yeah, I'm getting into like all this recovery stuff, and I'm just drinking so much coconut water, and it tastes horrible. And I'm like, just imagine like Steve with like 2 bottles of Vita Coco, just like Steve Austin in them, like banging them together at the end of the game, just chugging coconut water.
Jesus. Yes, we got a halftime scoreline from the Surge official Twitter account. Halftime score -7, Surge 6. So go on, Lee. Love to see that. Yorkshire Rams, after threatening to get rolling a few times, Vikings running back number 8 finally gets his gap, rumbles up the middle for a score. 2 PAT stopped dead. Rams lead 14-6 over the Vikings. So that game is closing right up. If anybody's got any Wolverines Inverclyde score updates, we would really, really appreciate those. And we got the Hunters Dunfermline Kings just came out of nowhere 30-0 at halftime. And anybody with the Apache scoreline. So I know that we had a question about the Apache. Who would win, Apache or Northants in the playoffs? I'm back in Northants. Just because I've just got an unhealthy love and an obsession with them. So yeah, it would definitely be Northants for me, but
yeah, I'm going
that
would be well, don't you?
Yeah. So if we're looking at the Div 2,
we haven't done the South, have we? No, the North.
No, that's the thing. No, we haven't done the South. We did the North. We put it down to it would have been Scunthorpe versus Highland Stags, sort of in their final. So if we go to the South. We've got Northants, the East Essex Sabres, the Norwich Devils, and the Bristol Apache are the 4 unbeaten teams in all of the South at the moment. They're all top of their own division. I think the 2 best teams out of those are the Apache and Northants, definitely. And I think I'd pick Northants to beat the Apache. It's weird because I think the Apache are the better team, but my heart lies with Northants, so I'd pick Northants to win.
Northants are in the north, aren't they? No, they are.
They're in the north. No, they're in the north of the SFC. So SFC 2, SFC 2's got 4 divs. So
I'm reading it wrong.
Yeah, Div 2, both north and south are split into 4 divisions each.
Yeah, that's my fault. Yeah, that's fair. You know, I wouldn't. It's going to be interesting to see how Norwich fare in the playoffs, because I don't want to say that like.
That's the thing. It's a bit unfair of me to sort of just ignore both Norwich and East Essex because they're both unbeaten teams, and I kind of just glossed over them and went, yeah, Northants versus Bristol. They're both unbeaten teams, and on their day can probably give anybody in that sort of Div 1 a run for their money.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I made the mistake during the Uniball season where I called Oxford Lancers a bunch of can crushers because they'd only defeated teams with like a terrible record, and then they went on to win the division and get promoted.
It was the motivation they needed. You fed their hate.
That's it. But strange enough, Oxford don't hate me. I think it's only Kent Falcons that don't like me at the minute.
So Paul's asked, who do we fancy in Div 1 North in the playoffs? So we did touch on this very briefly. So we go back to Div 1 North. Where are we? Div 1. So yeah, the teams that are for the Div 1 North would be, you've got 3 teams from the north of the North. So that's Northumberland, EKP, Yorkshire. And I think, Tebbs is going to have to serve another customer. So the 3 teams that are in the NFC 1 North. So that's the EKP, Vikings, Rams. I would back the Rams. I know that they have lost 2 currently, and both EKP and Northumberland have 1 loss each. But at the moment, Rams in the reverse fixture are leading the Vikings. So I would pick the Rams to win that division. And then the Falcons in the NFC 1 South, I think are just a cut above everybody else. So I would definitely sort of put it to come down to sort of a Yorkshire versus Leicester final, and I think Leicester would beat them. I do think Leicester is the strongest team there, and I feel like they are a team that's just going to consistently fluctuate between Prem and Div 1. You know, they'll always be the best team in Div 1 and will go up, but then they'll be, you know, arguably the worst team in the Prem and will come back down the following season. They're a yo-yo team to me, kind of in the middle a little bit. Well, I'm glad to hear it. I'm not sure. I can see your photo, but I can't see the team itself that you play for. And if I'm insulting you, then apologies. But just with calling, if you're playing for Leicester and calling you guys a yo-yo team, it's just I don't know if you. Maybe you've got the infrastructure in place to be able to compete with, you know, the Tamworths and the Manchesters a few years down the track. But just at the moment, based recently on form, it's very much when you're up there, you're probably coming down the next season, but you're better than everybody else in the Div 1. So it just depends on if anybody else drops off the pace in the Prem North, and maybe, you know, with who's looking at coming down. There we go, ex-Hoods but coach at Leicester. Yeah, mate, you guys have got a great squad. You're better than Div 1, but it's just a fact of whether, when you're looking at the Prem North at the moment, you know, Sandwell is the team that's going to come down this year. It's, you know, it's going to happen. Like, they are getting relegated. There's nothing is going to change that. But then it just depends on if you guys earn promotion over who I believe it'll be the Rams. But if you play the Rams, beat them, earn promotion, where do you sit with the Giants? Can you climb above the Giants and then force the Giants down next year to allow you guys to stay up there for more than sort of 1 year before getting pushed back down is the big thing. We got an update there from EKP versus the Glasgow Tigers. We've got another touchdown there for EKP, 20-0. The PAT is good, and it's still a medium score. I kind of expected that to be a blowout by now, but it can still head that way.
Who's this for?
So EKP's just scored another one against Glasgow, so that's now jumped up to 20-0 in their game.
Pardon me.
Jesus, you're an animal. So I mentioned Leicester was and Paul asked us, who do you fancy in the Div 1 North playoffs, and I mentioned that I thought it would probably come down to Leicester versus Leeds. Leicester versus Yorkshire. Apologies, not just Leeds. Yeah. And then, do you feel any different? Like, obviously with EKP and Northumberland are both right up there as well.
I apologise to the watchers and listeners for being boring, but no, I don't. I wish I could turn around and be like, I think, how dare you forget someone? But no. I think that's completely fair.
It's completely fair. I could see. That's the thing is, I could see EKP or Northumberland pushing Yorkshire out. Like, that is a 3-horse race at the moment for me. So both.
Oh, he's gone. I didn't see that coming. So I'm now doing the show alone. Apparently, no one says anything to me about stuff like this.
Did I just eject myself from the studio?
Yes,
I think I ejected myself from the studio.
You did. I panicked for a bit, and all the people watching, they all went. No,
yeah. It was just you on your lonesome. No, the point that I was going to make is just at the moment for that division, both Northumberland and EKP sit at both 6-1 coming into this week, and the Rams have got 2 losses. Currently, the Rams are leading the Vikings, so with that, it would go to the Rams would be 6-2, the Vikings would be 6-2 if that score holds. And then EKP would be alone at the top at 7-1. I'm just going to have a look at EKP's. Well, I'm just going to look at the fixtures actually for just the entirety of that division. If I can. Don't know if I can. Yes, I can. Right. NFC 1 North. Right. Just looking at the. No, I can't.
I do love the Lincoln Colonials, but why would you put up a promotional video that's 9 minutes long when everyone who would be interested is currently playing Britball? I mean, go and watch it, but I would have picked a better time to put that up. Maybe on a
Who are the Lincoln Colonials a Uniball team?
Yes.
Right.
They're my Uniball team.
Oh.
Are they? Until Gloucestershire picks up my contract in October.
Oh, is that right?
Well, if they sort out their fucking admin, hopefully.
So what is pushed for the move?
Truthfully, if you're doing a PhD over 2 years, you get funding, and the Lincoln per PhD that I want to do is only 2 years.
Right. Okay. So, so Brad's popped in. He's got the stream for the Yorkshire-Northumberland game. I am following on Twitter on that game, but I'm not watching the stream. There we go. Gateshead have turned it round. So against the Presidents there. So it was a short-lived. We're leading for the Presidents over Gateshead, and that is now, unfortunately. Yeah, it was an 8-6 lead for the Presidents, and then that's now, where are we? 19-8. And again, Tebbs is not a mime; he's serving customers. And then Brad has just mentioned. There we go. This is what I wanted. Thank you, Brad. This is what we've been looking for. We haven't heard anything about the Inverclyde Goliaths versus the Wolverines. So the big thanks on that one. That's close. I'm not gonna lie. I thought that might be a little bit different. I thought the Wolverines might have opened up a bigger gap than 6-0, but very happy to see that. Awesome. Thank you. Yes, we appreciate the updates whenever we can get them, my man. And then halftime Bulls Caesars. Yeah, so they scored on the last play. Darren, I'm not sure if you saw that, but they mentioned that the Caesars scored on a run with the final play of the half. Oh, Brad with the kiss hug. Thanks, mate. Into Q1. Russ, what's going on? You started strong, and now it's we've had no more scores from you. What's the crack? What's happening? Have you just not had the ball? What are South Wales doing to you? Now we're just going to we've got another update here, and yeah, so it's come through from South Wales as well. So from Russ and South Wales into the first quarter, 7-0. So there's a fumble recovery for the Vikings. Number 21 for the visitors got very excited. The Vikings are trying to get the run game going, give him a number 8, and he's making some small gains. And it looks like we're into the second quarter there of the Rams Vikings in the top of the table clash there. Now, the reason I bring up the Rams and the Vikings is I think the Rams are going to win that division. But they're a game back on EKP. So, at the moment, in terms of the fixtures that are available, EKP has... Well, it's not going to give me the games that are available. So that's just not on. Let's see if it's just going to stop being dicks. Where are we? There we go. So EKP still left to play. So they've got the Tigers this week. They've got the Rams in 3 weeks, which I think could decide the division. And then they've got the Wolverines the following week after that. So I think the Week 16 game on the 24th of July, so 3 weeks from now, EKP versus Yorkshire, I believe, can pretty much decide the division. Gateshead's hit again, so they lead 26-6 there. We appreciate that, Darren. Thank you. Keep that coming. Unlucky for the Presidents, early lead there, taking the 8-6 lead, and it's all gone downhill recently for them in the last sort of 10 minutes by the looks of it. That everything that they'd worked for, no good on that front. Now, I am waffling a little bit because usually by this point Tebbs is back from serving his customers, but he's not. He's busy. So, with that in mind, I'm going to give you guys a full update on all the scores that we've got so far, and you can fill me in on if there's any that I'm missing. So, we've got Tamworth Edinburgh is full-time, and that was Tamworth 56, Edinburgh 7. We've got an update from Sheffield versus Merseyside, and that was 14-13 at half-time to the Giants over the Nighthawks. We've got... moving on to the next one. Aztecs Warriors 7-0 at half-time. So huge performance there from Bristol to hold the Warriors to just 7 points in the first half. We've got another half-time update there for the Thrashers versus the Olympians, and that is 14-6 to the Thrashers over the Olympians. And then the last game from that Prem South is the Exiles Blitz game, but that doesn't kick off till 4. If we move to the NFC 1 North, we've got the EKP Pirates. Well, we've got EKP up 20-0 over the Glasgow Tigers at half-time. We've got the Wolverines up over the Goliaths, and that's 6-0, and that was a late kickoff, so I believe that's still in quarter 1. And then we've got the Rams up 14-6 over the Vikings currently, and that is not too far away from the half. Moving to the NFC 1 South, we've got the Caesars and the Bulls are at the half, and the Caesars lead 28-6. And then the Halton Spartans and the Shropshire Revolution do not kick off until 5 p.m. today. If we look at the SFC 1 West, we've got the Cheetahs and the South Wales Warriors. That game's just gone Q2, and the Cheetahs lead that 7-0. And the Portsmouth Dreadnoughts trailed the Rushmore Knights 8-0 at halftime. The SFC 1 East, the Cambridgeshire Cats handily beat the London Blitz B 34-22, and that scores full time. And we've got the East Essex Spartans currently leading the London Hornets 6-0. NFC 2 North, we've got the Dumfries Hunters 30-0 over the Dunfermline Kings at the last report. The NFC 2 West, we've got the Surge and the Miners are at half-time, and currently Lee leads the Staffordshire Surge 7-6. NFC 2 East, we've got the Gateshead Senators up 26-8 over the DC Presidents. NFC 2 South, the Scunthorpe Alphas were Elfters, the Elves, the Elven Kingdom of Scunthorpe was awarded a 1-0 walkover against the Mustangs, who just pulled out on a Saturday. And it's just, come on guys, do better. And they are currently having their own little Scunthorpe Bowl. And last time we heard that was 19-13 in the Scunthorpe Bowl. And at halftime, the Humber Warhawks were up 44-0 over the Southlinks Boo Lightning. Moving to the SFC 2 North, we got the Worcestershire. We got the Source and the Storm are actually playing a game, to everybody's surprise, and the Source are up 14-0 over the Swindon Storm. 14-6 over the Swindon Storm. Still yet to receive any updates from Somerset Bristol game. So if anybody's got any updates at all from the Somerset Bristol game, that would be greatly appreciated. The SFC2 East, Ouse Valley currently leads the Ipswich Cardinals 21-14 at halftime. Tebbs, the pants are off and he's running around his workplace in just his boxer shorts. The SFC2 South, we've got nothing from the Berkshire Renegades versus the East Kent Mavericks. So if anybody's got an update on that one, greatly appreciated. And the final game was supposed to be the Highland Stags versus the Clyde Valley Blackhawks, but that was postponed.
So I've got another cheeky update for you. I don't have the quarter it happened in, but the Sheffield Giants, are up 30-19 over the Merseyside Nighthawks.
Wow.
Come on,
that's got to be Q3 at least.
Oh yeah, it's. So I'm happy with that.
Anything else or just that?
No, 28-6. Caesars Bulls to the Caesars.
Yeah, that's the halftime score. We've got that. Well, Humbers just punched one in. So touchdown Warhawks, 51-0. Dan Holiday catches his first ever touchdown on a 30-yard pass from Josh Guthrie. Jordan Edmondson adds the extra point. So there is the 50 burger for the Humber Warhawks, which means that South Links did come out at halftime to play the second half. But when do they have their next game is the big question. I just will sleep. I'm a tired man. And
the worst part is, Oz, is that I've only got 10 minutes left.
Oh bollocks, you do too. So interestingly enough, in week 4, there's no game in week 14 for the South Links Lightning, but in week 15, so 2 weeks from now, they are scheduled to play the Doncaster Mustangs. So I think we could very easily, it could just be a race to see which team is going to pull out first of that game.
Problem is, they both want the walkover. They'll basically both be like,
It'll be Saturday. It'll be Saturday afternoon. The text will come through. Sorry, mate, can't play it tomorrow. So the Spartans have just gone to halftime against the Hornets. It looks like the Hornets have punched in a touchdown but missed either the 2 PAT or the extra point, as that's now 6-6 between the Essex Spartans and the London Hornets there. Oh, excuse me.
Look at that. Isn't that beautiful?
Sorry, I switched screens. What am I supposed to be looking at? Oh, yeah. Into the third now. So that was... Right, so that's a scoreless third quarter between the Source and the Storm. So that's now into Q4 at 14-6.
I beg they win. That'd be hilarious. I might have to do the stream from my car as I'm driving back home.
Well, I'm just seeing if Mikey wants to fill in for the last hour, but I doubt it.
We'll see, because ladies and gentlemen, as I am at work, I would like to go home. And I've got a day off tomorrow. And I'm going to guess what to do with it? Nothing.
Nothing? You got to do one.
I am, mate. I'm gonna figure out this Detroit Lions Buccaneers situation that I've got brewing off to my left when I get home, and then from there we'll see.
So Yorkshire have just mentioned a very tentative end to the half by both teams as time slowly ticks away to the break. It's a marathon today, not a sprint. Rams lead the Vikings 14-6. Big playoff implications at play in that game there in Leeds at the moment. And if anybody is wanting to watch that game, we have so kindly been provided with the link for the stream there from Senor Bread. So check that out. And, well, not right now because they've just gone to half-time, so...
Bread. I've just got that. Very good.
Yeah, it's his nickname. I did not give that to him. That is one that I was informed.
Whoever's come up with that.
Yeah, no, that was one I was informed of. I cannot lay claim to that.
I was informed that with someone I used to work with. His guy's nickname was Biscuit because his name was Gary, and he was bald. There you go, Gary Baldy. His nickname was Biscuit.
Who's Gary Baldy?
It's a type of biscuit.
Is it?
Yeah. Now, people watching that will understand that.
Oh, okay.
Also, I tell you what, at the Slate Cup last year, just some random guy came up to me and he went, "Did you hear about that French team that's playing in Britball this year?" And I went, "No." He went, "Yeah, Lee Miners," and I was like, "Wow, wow." And that was the Penguins' first loss of that particular day.
Yeah, no, that's horrendous. That is horrendous. Wow.
Here we go.
Right, I see the Garibaldis now. I quite like a Garibaldi.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the fruit in the inside, and yeah.
It counts 25 a day. If there's fruit in your biscuit. Everyone knows it.
Yeah, no, I'm. Oh, there we go.
So it begins.
So yeah, can we get some Lord of the Rings, King Theoden up here? So it begins. Do we think that's the beginning of the end?
Yeah.
Because the question is, do Bristol bounce back, or is this the Warriors starting to run away with it?
I think.
Or does it just stay close and for the rest of the game?
I think Bristol will score again, and then the Warriors will put 2 touchdowns up, and then just park the bus.
You reckon?
Park the bus.
Wow. Okay.
Yep. Parco El Busso.
El Parco Busso.
There you go.
That's interesting. I don't know if I would have picked a parked bus for.
Well, I don't know, do I? I'm for my very limited knowledge.
I'm just projecting here, mate. I'm making it up as I go along. You put me on the spot.
Why can't uni ball just happen year round, and then people will respect my brain?
Oh, mate, I wouldn't mind uni ball happening year round because it means I wouldn't have to do anything ever.
Yeah, all it would mean is I have to. This is week 52 of the live stream.
I have no cares. I've got no cares whatsoever for uni ball, like in the slightest. It's just.
And luckily, due to the amazing team at Sport Tank, I don't have to care about Britball apart from right now. I love Britball.
Yeah. Well, Uniball is a part of Britball. If you wanna look at it that way, because it's in Britain. It's in Britain.
And I've got through almost 2 hours with only talking about the Women's Football League twice, because that's.
But I don't know if we should slap an only on that because I would say the women's league probably doesn't get as much coverage as it deserves.
And what you should do is if you feel guilt tripped about that, read some interviews done by a certain blonde-haired sports journalist.
Have you interviewed anybody from the Dreadnoughts women's team?
Yes, the first one I did was with Lou Robbins of Portsmouth.
Oh right, yeah, Lou, yeah. So she's Portsmouth Dreadnoughts and Solent Thrashers. So she plays for the men's team as well.
Yeah, So that was the first one I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I've not done Warriors, Lions, Swindon. I have done. I was supposed to do Cardiff and then Kent Exiles because Kent Exiles ignore my messages, and then someone who owns their team put a nasty message. I think someone in their higher structure said put something on a post that annoyed me, so I just didn't follow it up. They ignored me anyway. So, all Hertfordshire Cheaters actually, not done them either.
Well, we've got Russ that pops in every now and then. I'm not sure if he's got any links to the women's team, but he's obviously so Russ is the head coach of the men's team.
Nice.
So I'm sure that we could, if need be, we could get in touch with Russ and see if he's able to facilitate that interview there for you there on the.
I will do. So I wanted to try and get one from everyone, but there are some teams who just aren't. Basically, Birmingham Lions women's team. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe they've gone undefeated for 5 seasons, something mad like that.
It's like the opposite of Maidstone, who didn't win a game for 5 seasons.
Exactly. It's mental. Like if you generally you look into Birmingham Lions women's squad, there's something else. There's something. They're mental. They're absolutely correct. Their stat lines are crazy. But to be fair, in the last tournament, they did their game with London Warriors came down to 2 points, which Birmingham won. And if London would have pulled that off, that's pretty good stuff.
Would have sent the small corner of women's Britball Twitter into overdrive.
Hey man, it's a wild place.
we need to get it more mainstream attention though. That's the thing. It's like the thing is we hear it. I know you're doing your job. You're doing your job.
That's my job.
That's the thing. We here at Sport Tank, we are all about like just football. I've got a little bit of I wouldn't say an axe to grind with flag, but it's just not my jam. But there's guys at Sport Tank who love flag, like junior, youth, men's, uni, women's. Like we love it all. Like all football that has to do. Like we are unbiased. We are happy to report on it all. Get it out there for the world to see. So let's see what's going on here.
And one day we'll have proper flag coverage, but I'm trying my hardest.
I mean, it won't be me. It just won't be. It won't be me. But I'm sure we can find somebody.
The worst part is also it's probably going to end up being me. No.
So, little quick story for you before you bugger off in the next sort of 2 minutes. I found the greatest chocolate in the world today, which I have been looking for in this country for a very long time, because it's from my homeland, and the only place you can find it is at fucking B&M.
Oh, I've heard about that stuff.
Mate, it is incredible. It is the best tasting chocolate in the world. If you've got like a mum or a missus or a sister or something who's really good at making cheesecakes, this makes the best cheesecake, like chocolate cheesecake in the world. So you can only get it from B&M.
And it's just like caramel.
No. So it looks like this.
Yeah, it looks like caramel.
No, get out of here. It's delicious. It's gonna give me diabetes by the end of the show.
But what have you had caramel?
Yeah, wasn't great.
No, it's not. It's rancid stuff.
Yeah, that's the thing. That is not good tasting. This is delicious. So it's nothing like caramel.
Yeah, fair enough.
So Bulls are forced to punt, but a Caesar's fumble is recovered to give the Bulls the ball back deep inside their own half. And I think Tebbs is probably going to be leaving us at some point soon.
Yeah, I'm going to do a quick look. Oh, bollocks. It's 22-21 to Ipswich at the minute. It's currently, we've got 17-14 to the Warriors.
Let's see.
Another one. So it's 21-7 to the Warriors now.
It is starting, isn't it? The gates are opening.
Yep. Nothing from Nottingham in terms of the scoreline.
Sorry, what was the
end of first quarter? Cheetahs 7, South. We've already got that one.
We've got that. Was it 22-21 Ipswich, Ouse Valley?
22-21 to the Ipswich Cardinals.
Dardanelles.
I hate Ipswich. I hate Ipswich so much.
So biased. So biased.
Okay. Hey man, if Skip or like what's his face, Colin Coward can be biased towards their teams, I can say I don't.
Oh yeah, yeah, true. Oh, Skip. No, Darren, I've tried it. It was not good. It was not good at all.
You guys wait until the NFL stream. You wait until someone badmouths the Miami Dolphins. Fly off the handle.
I will.
Ready.
I will. I'll badmouth the Miami Dolphins.
Who do you support?
Have I got anything sitting around? I'm a Ravens supporter. I haven't got anything sitting around.
What happened when the Dolphins played the Ravens last time? I can't remember what happened. Oh, fat dub. Fat dub for the squad.
For the squad. When was the last time you guys won a Super Bowl, just out of curiosity?
Huh?
When was the last time you guys won a Super Bowl, just out of curiosity?
You're breaking up.
Yeah, so I thought. How did it feel to have one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time and he made one Super Bowl and then never made it back?
How does it feel to have Joe Flacco be the best quarterback you've ever had?
It felt great. He won us a Super Bowl.
Yeah, fuck Joe Flacco.
I mean, where was the Super Bowl that Dan Marino won, you guys? How'd that go?
Yeah.
It's just. So the weird thing is, right, that Miami, because I remember that game, the Miami Baltimore game, where you literally blitzed like 97% of the time. Yes. Like you put both safeties up in the box and just blitzed on like every single play. Yeah. That was in the middle of Brian Flores' like revival, because you guys are going like 0-7 or something up until that point.
1-7.
1-7. Sorry.
Mate, how does it feel, mate? I had to live through, having the greatest week. Went to the International Combine. Went to the Dolphins. Fucking been feet away from Tua. Spoke to Flores. Spoke to some other Dolphins players. Watched them practice. Going down to London, having a great time with my friends. And then we fucking lost to the stupid fucking Jacksonville Jaguars. I had to witness that with my eyes. My own eyes. Right, I am going to go now because I just want to go home. And because they do have cameras in it and they will be thinking, like, what's he doing? So thank you, gentlemen. I'm going to leave now. Thank you for having me. Will I be back on one of these? Yeah, probably.
But probably more in the comments than on the actual screen, because Tebbs is a busy man with his Sport Tank work.
That's it. So before I go, big up Black Knights.
Yeah. Oh, Worcestershire! You closet Worcestershire fan. You're not even gonna give the big ups to Oz Valley against Ipswich. You're gonna give it to the Black Knights.
No, because Oz Valley are losing, and I'm a fair weather fan.
So Darren's just said since the age of 7 he wanted to try Twinkies, saw them at Tesco's at the age of 54, tried them, bloody awful, ruined his whole childhood.
It is really bad though, because like the artificial cream in those. So I do the show standing up now. I'll do it like a comedy special. I do the show comedy special.
Chris Kamara, Chris Tibbett in the vape shop.
In the reporting live from the vape shop.
Never meet your heroes, Darren. Or in other words, never eat your childhood foods that you wanted. And on that news, we've got the backups are in for the Humber Warhawks against the Lightning. We got a touchdown for the Warhawks. 59-0 as QB2. Harry Hodgson runs it in from 5 yards out. And Rich Adepoju runs in a 2-point conversion. And the Bulls have just let us know that the Bulls are driving inside the red zone. And the Source have scored again. Worcestershire 20, Swindon 6. Tebbs, can you hear this?
Yeah, I've still got the earpiece in.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
Still
reporting live. Yeah, the Source are taking a solid lead.
I've heard. Bless up, Worcestershire.
Bless up. Right, take it easy, my man.
Right. All right, see everyone later. Bye-bye.
And then there was Oz. It's just me. You're all stuck with me here. It's going to be awkward. It's going to be uncomfortable, and I'm probably going to run the stream until about 4:30. So we've got about 25 minutes left, give or take, purely because I've been chasing up Mikey to see if he can follow up, and he's ghosted me cold. And I know you guys don't want to just sit there and watch me on screen all day. But we've just been told from Birmingham that Cal to Duran equals a touchdown. So the Bulls are on the board. After a less than spectacular first half against the Caesars, they are come charging back there with the touchdown. We're going to wait to see if we've got a two PAT or the kick to come. Just need to update that so the Gateshead missed that, so that was 33-8, and then Worcestershire up 20-6. There we go, 20-6, and then Birmingham. So just awaiting the 2 PAT or PAT just to see where we're at with the scoreline there. But I think that could be, well, at the moment it's 28-12, just awaiting next points. So while we wait for that, I'm going to give you guys a quick rundown here. I'm going to move this over here. Put this up here. So, Prem North. Tamworth Phoenix beat the Edinburgh Wolves 56-7. Late in the quarter 3, we've got the Sheffield Giants up 30-19 over the Merseyside Nighthawks. In the Prem South, we've got the London Warriors up 21-7 over the Bristol Aztecs. And the halftime score from the Solent Thrashers London Olympians game was 14-6 to the Thrashers over the Olympians at halftime. The Blitz versus the Exiles has just kicked off, so we haven't received any score updates on that yet. NFC 1 North, we've got the EKP versus the Tigers, and EKP currently leads that at 20-0. And that's, I believe, they're into the third quarter now on that one as well. And then we've got a quick update from the Lancashire Inverclyde Goliaths game in the Q1, and that was the Wolverines were up 6-0. And that was coming through from our very own Brad there. Mate, it is not good for them. It is not good for them. Yeah, their Humbers put in the second stringers now, and that touchdown that's just come there, the 59-0 one came through from their QB2 as he ran it in from 5 yards out. So it's been a long day for the Boo Lightning, and you are definitely right that they want Usain Bolt to run that clock, because I thought that, because they went to, I think it was 48-0 at halftime, and I thought that would sort of be within about 20 points of the final score. I thought we might be looking at about a 55-65-0 just because the running clock would kick in. But we're only just coming out of the halftime break for these guys, and they're already down 2 scores, I believe. So not ideal for them. There we go. Wolverines scored again against Inverclyde. It's Inverclyde, Ben, not Klein. But I appreciate the score update altogether anyway. Or you're going to tell me I'm wrong, and it is Inverclyde, and I'm going to be an absolute dickhead. So they're up 14-0. We're into Q3. I don't know if the second half's kicked off yet of the Yorkshire Rams Northumberland Viking game, but that was 14-6 at halftime to the Rams over the Vikings. Let's see if we've got the... I hate you guys so much. Yeah, I have Darren. It's literally just popped up, and that's what I'm saying. So Northants have just said, finally the stream we all wanted. The GOAT with no one holding him down. Thank you. I'm gonna go red. I'm gonna be blushing because I hate you guys so much. That's amazing. What's your gut feeling on Britball? I know it's early, but can the North sides compete with the South? It would be a difficult process, purely because I believe the Warriors at this moment in time are one of the slowest starting teams in Britball, and they have been for the last couple of years. Yeah, it evidenced it today. 7-0 halftime, with the Aztecs. And again, don't hear what I'm not saying. Don't take anything away from the Aztecs. The Aztecs are a great team, but it's starting to pull away now in the third. We're into the third quarter now, and Warriors has scored 14 unanswered points so far. And I could easily see that spacing out to be a very similar scoreline to what we saw in the first game, which I think was something like a 36-12 or something along those lines. If the northern teams are going to have a shot, they've got to start. They've got to start hard and fast. They will have to get it to the point where London is in a hole, and then when they start to pick everything up in the second half, like they have been this season so far, and last season actually, and even in the weird the weird 2021 season. So last season, when it was all sort of based on where you were proximity wise, they were still in games that were close that shouldn't have been at half time. and that finished as big sort of blowout wins. And so I think that either the Titans or the Phoenix would have to start very, very strong, very, very quickly for when the Warriors, the machine finally gets up to speed, that they can't just roll them over in a way that if it's a 0-0 at halftime, or if it's 7-0 or maybe even 14-0, like there needs to be a gap that the Northern team can sort of lean on. So when the Warriors actually finally get going, that it's not going to just be a blowout in the opposite direction. So if they're gonna compete with them, they have to score lots and they have to score early. Do I see it being an all-North final? No, I don't. Not in the slightest. I think whichever team draws the Warriors in the semi will probably lose. And then I think the Warriors are going to win it again. I do. I think they've been starting slow. I don't think they've been great in the first half of any of their games, really. But I still think that they are the best team in the country. And it's very cliche, and we're all bored of hearing it, but I do think that they are the best team in the country, and that the other two teams, that there's a bit of a gap between where the Warriors are and then coming down to I put Tamworth and Manchester together, but then I put Tamworth and Manchester above whoever's in second for the South, which at this point I believe would be Bristol. So I believe Bristol sits above the Blitz. So whoever manages to draw Bristol in the semi has a very, very good chance to make the final. I still think Bristol's a very good team. Again, that's the thing. When we're talking about this, we're talking about these are the best 4 teams in the country, so to speak. So so I believe the WBK game is still going. Last time we heard they were up 20-6 is the most recent update for you there, Dan. So started slowly that game, but the source have started to pull away in that one. But just going back to this, I do think there's a very good chance for a Northern team to make the final, but I don't think there's a good chance for it to be an all-North final. With it being that these are the best 4 teams in the country, so anytime you're sort of talking about someone being better than somebody else, it's not to take away from that other team. They are all very, very good outfits and are better than 90% of the country at football. But there's still sort of levels within these sort of things. Right. Just going to have a quick look. So we've got some updates in the Tigers EKP game. So Tigers are on the board with a field goal. So that takes it to 20-3 for EKP over the Tigers. And then EKP hits right back with a touchdown. So that's now 26-3. And Dan, there's another update for you on the WBK game. So 20-12 for the Black Knights versus Swindon, as Swindon's starting to try to pull that back a bit. So if you guys excuse me very briefly while I plug these in and try and update the tracker on Facebook for anybody who's not actually watching the stream with us today. And I will tell you that I am going to be cutting the stream off at 4:30, unfortunately, just because I'm on my own and I have other updates and everything that I've got to do before 5. So apologies, we have got a shortened program for you. We did have Tebbs for 2 hours, and it was very, very grateful for him deciding to lock on and help out during the middle of his work day. But Steve is off roaming, following after the Aztecs, as is his new love. And Mikey worked late last night. He didn't finish work until midday today, picking up penguins there at Chester Zoo. So it was a very late shift, and it left just yours truly here. So I agree with you on the rankings. I don't think the Warriors can afford to have slow starts on the Titans or Phoenix. That's true. Definitely, that's the thing. It's if there's going to be either a team that can take advantage of the fact that the Warriors are starting slow, it would be Manchester or Tamworth. But it's the fact is, I think once the Warriors get going, I don't know if, don't get me wrong, both. I watched the Manchester Tamworth game, and that was when the stream was on, and obviously Tamworth weren't on their game, but you could still see the core of it there in working in ways. But I think once the Warriors find their groove, there's not a defense in the country that can stop them consistently. Like, they will get stops. No team is foolproof at scoring, but I just don't think that there's a defense in the country that can stop them consistently when they're in their stride and they're playing at their best. So it would be very, very difficult if it's a close game at the half. I just think it would be a very, very difficult game for either Manchester or Tamworth to win. If they have a lead at the half for the Manchester or Tamworth, it will be a much more defensible game from that perspective. But I think they need to be leading by at least 1 or 2 scores if they're going to have a chance of winning. Well, I'd say 2 scores probably if they're going to have a chance at winning. If it's tied up at the half, I would pick the Warriors 10 times out of 10. Yes, 100%. That's the thing. I'm really enjoying the fact that we are looking at with the Prem North at the moment, 2 very, very, very quality sides. So I remember, I think it was either the 2016 or the 2017 season, the year that Tamworth won it, when they beat the Blitz in the final. Merseyside was the second team that made it in, and they were good, but they weren't great. And obviously Tamworth went through London on that one went through the Warriors to get to the final, and then played the Blitz in the final. And a lot of people were sort of looking at like, the South has sent 2 good teams, and then the North has sent Tamworth and Merseyside. But I think this year, both teams that are going, essentially whichever one draws Bristol has a really good shot of like. I don't want to talk down on Bristol either. Like, as we see that the Warriors have scored again. This is not detrimental against Bristol in any way, shape, or form. Like, they've been incredible this season. It's a revelation. Usually they are the team that is seen as sort of the mid-gap between whether you're getting relegated from the Prem or whether you're able to sort of stick around. It's like they are the yardstick. Which division would I consider more competitive? I would say the North, purely because we know who's going to win the South every single year. Like, from my personal opinion, it's never who's winning Prem South. It's who's coming second. I can see the Warriors turning into the O's where after years of dominance, people start turning one to beat them rather than join. I hope so, Dan. I really do. Like, and I wasn't in the country when the O's had their run of dominance. I mean, if Steve was on the show, he'd be able to sort of talk to you about those glory days of the O's. And what happened with them. And I kind of hope that they do go to other teams, because I would love to see a little bit more parity, because it's boring when you sort of start the season every year and you're right, who's coming second in the South? So I believe that the North is more competitive based on that fact. And if Edinburgh can take a step like Bristol has done recently and can start forcing their way into the conversation with Tamworth and Manchester at the top, it would just add to it. Like, I had really high hopes for Edinburgh, probably after about the 3rd week, I think, where they were 3-0 and they just slapped everybody that had been passed their way. But unfortunately for them, the 3 teams that they'd played at that point in time, it was, you're looking at the Giants, the Sheffield Giants, the Sandwell Steelers, and whoever the last team is in that division, and it's escaping me right now. Merseyside. They put the beat down on all 3 of them. So I had really high hopes coming into the Tamworth game, and then unfortunately just wasn't to be. There we go. So the Wolverines have struck again. So they're up 18-0 over Inverclyde, and you have spelled it right, and it's 20-2. So the 2 PAT is good on that front. So I'm just going to take a very quick second from talking, guys, as I update these trackers here, as I try to give people scoring updates. Mikey Gray, so Scunthorpe versus the All Scunthorpe, the greatest game in Scunthorpe that went on today. Scunny had a strong second half from Scunny, saw them pick up the win, 38-35. What a game. End of quarter 3 in the Birmingham-Nottingham game. So the Bulls trail 35-14 now. So Nottingham starting to run away quite comfortably with that game. 21-point deficit there for the Bulls. We got a halftime score there for South Wales and the Cheetahs, as we saw here from Russ as well. So that was 7-0. And I think that's it. End of Q3 now. So the Warriors, Aztecs, end of Q3. Warriors lead 28-7 as we come into Q4 for that game. So that's the thing there. It's just, they held them to 7-all at the half, and then I wonder if they've gone into the locker room and Tony's just given them a massive talking to in the locker room, and then the real Warriors have come out and started to run away with it a little bit, putting on 21 in the third quarter, and now we're looking at the fourth and wondering, what's the score going to be coming from the fourth quarter. But it's just, yeah, I think I prefer the North divisions, just because I do feel like there's more parity, especially in the Prem, and then because you've got teams like Leicester that is perennially, just as I spoke about earlier on, where they are too good for Div 1 most of the time, but they're not good enough to stay in the Prem, and it's just more now with Samwell coming down. Leicester will be going up next year, is my assumption, and it's just how can they stack up against Sheffield and Merseyside to see if they can stay up there. So there we go. Again, Darren, if Steve was here, he would have something to say on this. I don't know the O's team at that point, but you've mentioned Tony Scarlett, the late Leroy Ennis, and Leonard Valentine. So names that I've never heard before. Apologies, so I can't comment on that. Just because at that point in time, pretty sure I was probably out chasing kangaroos or kiwis or something. So, as we do where I come from. Thank you, Scott. So, unfortunate for Lee, but great if you're a Staffordshire fan. As they've turned it around from being down 6-7 at half time to now lead 18-7 in the third quarter. So it's going to be a sad Mikey when he wakes up after his long sleep. To see that the Miners were in it until they weren't. So just seeing an update there from the Birmingham Bulls that the quarterback's pass is deflected back to himself, and he runs about 6 yards on the reception. So 6-yard reception there from Cal the QB to Cal the receiver. And I'm still seeing the North Ants Twitter in the corner of my eye, and they are undefeated. Like that's the thing. They're undefeated in their games, and they are undefeated on Twitter. There is not. If you are affiliated with a club and you want to know how to up your social media game, so at Knights_NH is the North Ants Twitter team, and it's not just because of their unrealistic love for yours truly here. They're just a great They have good quality content in terms of the memes and everything. They're engaging, but they provide solid updates when they're actually playing as well. So there's a few teams that have really, really good. So Birmingham's another one. Their social media is really good because they give you sort of an idea of how the game is going. You don't have to tweet every play, guys, but the highlights of the plays or the big turnovers and things like that shifts the momentum. Unfortunately, there's just a lot of teams. Yorkshire Rams is another one with a really good social media team. Unfortunately, it's just a lot of teams that you might see a halftime score, a full-time score, or first quarter score, second quarter score, third quarter score, full-time score. It's just I think something that is going to be needed to tap into the sport and allow it to keep going. And this is if we can overcome the giant headache that is BAFA, is there needs to be more attainable content for everybody. It's, you need to make your team accessible, not only of in terms of your recruiting, like if you're in a catchment area that's quite populated, like what sets you apart? Like, I remember the first time I even did anything on a football field in the UK, and it made Twitter, and I was like, this is awesome. So straight away, it was just retweeted out. I retweeted it, and then, we had an affiliation with literally the local paper in Aldershot. But there was a few people from. Let me hide that comment. There you go. Yes, there's a quid in the jar for the swear word of our national. So for those of you who don't notice, every time one of us says the national organisation's name, we have to put a quid in the jar. But it was effective. Like it made the local paper of like as a roundup of the sort of the high points of what happened during the game, and it would have been 2015 against Solent, and I think we won the game 30-27. It was a really tight game, and it came down to the wire. But just seeing that little thing, and it's really big for people who may not be paying attention to the sport, or you've got to have those affiliations, and you've got to speak to your club and get your club promoted out there. It's just not good enough to have like a Facebook page that just might post, we won this game at this point, and that was it. So, for example, right now I'm looking at Humber's Twitter account, and they've chucked out full-time, Humber Warhawks win 59-0, most ever points scored by the team, and the highest ever margin of victory. So, just a couple of things that I never knew about Humber before. So, and then straight away see that, and it's like, you know what? Congratulations to Humber. Yes, you played the Lightning, but I'm not going to take anything away from the fact that you played the Lightning. 59-0. Huge. Well done to the Warhawks. Give them a big clap. Caesars have the ball on their own 30 as the Birmingham QB is picked off on a 4th down attempt. So Birmingham is kind of going for it all. But it's maybe a little bit too late. Too little, too late. And with that note, I think I'm going to love and leave you guys. We've hit 4:30. Games are starting to come to a close. My voice is starting to run out. I'm sick and tired of hearing myself speak. You're probably sick and tired of hearing me speak. It's been a weird game day live with Tebbs working from the office. Shout out to Tebbs though. I give Tebbs a lot of shit, especially when he's in the comments on stream. I just mug him off. We've got a very small sort of Sport Tank chat that we have, me, Tebbs, and Chris and Mikey. It's a game day live chat essentially, and I give him a lot of shit in there too. But no, big ups to Tebbs coming on. He was literally at work today in the office. I couldn't have got away with doing a stream if I was working in a store. So he was in the store working the front counter, and he still managed to jump on and do 2 hours of game day live. So big ups to him. Big ups to Mikey working a midnight or a 3 a.m. to midnight shift. Wait, no, 3 a.m. to midday shift at Chester Zoo picking up the penguins. But no big ups to Steve. Steve should have been here, to be honest, but he's too busy just running around with a flag at the Bristol Aztecs game. Just wants to be popular, wants people to love him, so he can maybe play for the team eventually when he's not 48. But I have been Oz. I've been rambling. This has been Game Day Live, brought to you by Sport Tank. Have I got the Thrashers score? I have. Well, Lou, I've got half-time. I messaged you for the Thrashers score, and you decided to be at GB camp instead. So, well done on being in GB, but no. Text. Look, you're in a Thrashers uniform on the screen with Adam, right? Adam should get his phone out. But no, it's 14-6 at halftime is what I got told. I haven't heard anything since because the person that I was speaking to about the game isn't at the game either. He's at Silverstone. So, there you go. I'm rambling, and I'm going to keep going to 5 if I keep rambling, and I don't want to keep rambling. So this has been Sport Tank, Game Day Live, brought to you by Sport Tank. I have been Oz, very briefly. And as always, really appreciate having you guys here, watching us chat shit for 2.5, 3 hours each Sunday, trying to give you as much content as possible. We will see you next week with some assortment of me and Mikey, or me and Steve, or Mikey and Steve, or... there we go. There we go. Way bigger than what I said. So 39-14, we'll update that. Well done. If anybody else has got any score updates, chuck them in here right now before I end the stream in about the next 30 seconds. So, yeah, it was 14-6 at halftime. It's now 39-14 to Solent. So that's a huge jump up. But nothing coming through in the next 10 seconds. I've been Oz. I've been grateful having you guys here, and I will more than likely see you guys next week. So take care.